DragonCast. 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 Flames of sound, Lavistro wakes in the underground. Cyber Dragon host seizes the helm. Dive into the forbidden lore of virtual realms. Welcome to DragonCast. Fire-breathing worms screaming loud.
Lavistro's here to shake the crowd.
Psychotic dragon ready to ignite.
Hold on tight.
We're taking flight. DragonCast. Gate to Guna Gate, tribes spew their hate. Unethical urinalists face the score. Truth burns with a psychotic roar. Corrupt suits sneer what they despise. DragonCast will open your eyes. Integrity found in DragonCast. Fire-breathing worms
screaming loud.
Lavistro's here to
shake the crowd.
Psychotic dragon ready to ignite.
Hold on tight.
We're taking flight. DragonCast. Worlds clash in endless collision. Gaming news with a fierce precision. With a spark so wild it breaks the norm in the tempest's eye. A cyber storm. Kara scouts the indie scene. Dash hits the front, sharp and lean. Bo brings the lens of a Gen X soul, while Hattie's energy is on the roll.
Nouveau fails, corpus slot burning down. Gamer cake is the talk of town. Milestones reach, new games ignite.
Gaming's news with a dragon bite. This is DragonCast. DragonCast.
And we're live, everybody, and hello. This is going to be a beautiful DragonCast episode. Excuse me. While the intro is going on, I did double check to make sure everything was hunky-dory. I did contact them around noon today, Texas time. And they said they're going to be here around 5 to 5:30. So, checked again. They sent a message 501 saying hi. Double check this, resent the link. So, yeah, we're going to be interviewing the devs from Liminal Point and the devils and the details today. So they asked me to stress a couple of things, and I'll mention again when they get here. Excuse me. First off, you're allowed to ask them questions. We will highlight it as we do with past interviewees, but they do not want any political questions about their game because they want to stay out of it, and we're going to respect that because yes, we want their game to succeed, and the best way to make a game succeed is not to be promoting, oh, this game is for this tribe or this thing, but this game is for everyone. They want to focus on their game, and we want to hear about it. The other thing, and this is self-explanatory, but I did promise I would mention it, is that they don't want anyone asking their real names or location. So, there's that. I think that's pretty understandable. It is an unwritten rule amongst our community, no doxing. So, I think that's pretty understandable. Also, if you notice, Alan Jones is a mod. I've been going through and realized I had the whole, if you've been interviewed, you get wrenched idea was not a good idea because it confused me too. I was like, I have all these mods, yet no mods are in my chat, and realized all my mods are in my chat. It's just I don't actually have a lot of mods. So Alan Jones is the third mod on our crew, so he'll be in there as well. Be nice to him because I'm going to tell you exactly right now. If you give him shit and he times you out, well, that's between you and him. I'm just going to say
Welcome.
that. And
One of us, I think.
yeah. Also, I might put Skytix on there because I think he and I are very similar in modding. So no bullshit. So you cry and bitch and moan, and he gets you out. I'm like, well, you probably deserved it.
What if I cry, bitch, and moan?
Yeah. But speaking of things you get what you deserve. Dash, how's it been going, buddy? I heard you had a birthday today, or not today, this week.
You had a birthday? And you didn't tell us?
Yeah, it was my birthday was on Wednesday.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Thank
I
you.
either forgot or I didn't know.
Yeah, you just didn't know. I didn't make like a big deal about it. I just did a I just had a stream and a lot of people showed up and I was very grateful for that.
So you're 56 now?
34 now. Yeah, I know. I'm getting up in years, but
Now you divide that up by 9 and you get his actual age.
oh, thank you, Alan. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be having a more formal celebration with my family tomorrow. Just a little birthday barbecue.
Yep. Real quick.
Yes.
Hold
yes,
on.
Valkyrie,
HideWorks,
you
I see you in
did.
the background. As soon as we get done for intros, I'll bring you on. Just bear with us. But yes, Bo, how's it going, buddy?
Chilling, hanging out, getting my server rolling for Conan.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And
That's about it.
Karis, how you been doing, dude?
Oh, it has been an interesting week. I got sort of sick again, even though I was feeling better. Had a bad experience in Portland, Oregon yesterday. I don't recommend it, but I'm happy to be here. I haven't been recording anything because I was waiting to get better, but now that's not going to be happening for a couple more days. But I have stuff written. I just need to record it. So, and I have been playing games too. Subnautica, 30 hours in, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of Subnautica, that's why I haven't been able to post anything. I was doing a deep dive on the whole the guns and pacifism, violence, wokeism thing, and it's like as much as I tried to shorten it down because everyone knows I try to keep my videos at a maximum of 15 minutes. When you add the lore as proof and evidence to the whole design plan of Subnautica, it's a 30-minute video. So
Yeah.
that's coming out. So if you're comfortable with what you were told, yeah, go ahead and go with that. But if you don't plan on buying Subnautica, but you want to know the jits and this and that 30-minute video will be coming out next week. So it will be a little late, but trust me, that's why I haven't posted any videos out. Speaking of which, our guest of honor has arrived. So, yeah, everyone, remember, keep your political questions to a 0, and feel free to ask questions. But help me introduce HideWorks.
Hey, how you guys doing? Can you guys hear all right?
Yes, we
hello.
You're good.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hope this is. Hope there's no echo or something.
That's
No,
good.
you're good. Nice
If
to
there's an
finally meet
echo-
you.
Yeah, if there's an echo, I'll just let you know you're amongst professionals here. If there's no audio or sound or video issues going on, you're not professional enough. So you're good.
It's so true.
Case in point, this guy.
Yeah. But yes, so for context, everyone knows we've been covering a lot of indie dev shows because when we started DragonCast, it was over someone telling me there was no good games, and then we started showcasing games that now we just highlight in Dragon Bytes and stuff, new games, and one of them happened to be Liminal Point, which we covered. I believe we covered that in the Gamer Cake section of our Dragon Bytes. And then also, Karis has actually played The Devil in the Details. So
Yes.
then HideWorks was trying to promote their game. and they had a issue with X, so they weren't getting a lot of reach. And so I was like, you know what, maybe we get you on DragonCast, interview you, and make shorts of it to help broadcast your work and this and that. And that's where we are. So if you two don't mind, I do believe I put y'all's. I was kind of stalkerish, I won't lie. I tried to find all y'all's contact info, like your X accounts and stuff that to help broadcast you. It's in the description, and my mods will bring it out. But why don't you tell us who y'all are and more about your games?
So we're HideWorks. We were a team of two. We're actually married, and we started the company, I don't know, like 2 years ago, something like that. Like a year a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Pretty much when the details came out. And that was our first game. That was our first experiment trying to make a game from start to finish. And now we've been working on a game that we've been wanting to make for a while, which is Liminal Point, survival horror from an isometric perspective.
Nice.
If you don't mind me asking, what got you into the because I'm noticing both of them seem to fit the horror genre. What got you into that? Let's start with the Devil in the Details. What made you start with that one?
So the Devil in the Details was we were trying to make an indie game for a bit, and we kept working on stuff and then kind of scrapping stuff. So then we decided to try to make a much smaller project, just to try to get it from start to finish. And, like we tried to make a small horror game, and then it kind of evolved into what it is. So it was just an experimental title, very experimental gameplay. And that's kind of the story of that. And it kind of, it still kind of grew a little bit, because I think the original prototype was done in 2 weeks or something like that. So we had actually a full game in 2 weeks. But then we kind of expanded, added more gameplay elements. We added more mansions to play.
Added the voiceover.
And also we released the demo, and we started getting a lot of feedback and expanding on that too. So yeah, it kind of grew a little bit. So we worked on it for 7 months, and then we released the final game. And then a little bit later, we also, because we were crazy, we decided to try to port it to consoles ourselves, and we kind of did it. So it's also on PS5 and Xbox Series.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think we posted the proper link in the chat. Devils in the Details is on sale on Xbox right now.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yep. How successful was that game when it first launched? Because I don't know if I told y'all this, but I used to be a freelance game developer. I would join indie groups or sometimes AA, not on location, but from home, and I would work on little things they needed and stuff like that. And one thing I noticed with a lot of indie devs, because a lot of times I worked on were indie devs, is their first game was not very successful at launch. How would y'all say y'all's launch felt to y'all?
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thing to say. I don't think it's very successful, at least in terms of financials. It's definitely not what we would like it to be. But in terms of acclaim, it definitely got really good reviews from critics and from the users. So in that sense, it was actually a success. I think it right now has 98% review score on Steam, and similar on Xbox. Actually, I think Xbox, last time I checked, it's not public because we don't have enough reviews for Xbox. Because in Xbox, you need a ton of reviews to actually be able to see the review score. But last time I checked, I think 99%, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's got very positive reviews. Everybody loves the game. Yeah. Everybody who plays it loves it. But I guess because it was our favorite game and it was trial and error, many things that we've done.
Yeah, I would say that the fact that it's a very experimental game, it's very difficult to market for it. And that's another thing we were also learning is marketing. So for Liminal Point, we definitely decided to make something a lot more
Like mainstream.
mainstream, and that people would immediately recognize the type of game. I would like to play this. So definitely, there's some learnings there.
Mm.
I mean, but again, compared to other indies, financially for us is not a success, but it's I would still say it's like top 10% indies in terms of money in Steam, which is not much, but it's it's not that bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Mhm.
Well, Vistra, I had a
Oh,
question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. And that's another thing before you go. For everyone else in the chat and even in the panel, everyone can ask questions with HideWorks because we really want to hear about the game. I'm sure they want to talk about their game and everything else. But if you want to say something, just go ahead and say it before I speak. And then if you don't, I'm going to say something so that way it's not awkward silence for everybody. But go ahead, Karis.
So one question that I've had, especially watching you build, is was there ever a moment during the first game when you said, okay, this might actually work? Like, did you have that moment at any point during the process when you just clicked and you just think, we've got something here?
You're talking about in terms of financials or in terms of like the game itself?
The game itself.
Yeah, I thought at some point we found it was quite, especially when I started seeing like people streaming a lot, playing a lot. It was surprisingly fun to see people getting into it. So we actually
We love to just get some tea in the evening and
Or
just
lunch.
watch people play the game. It was so much fun, especially when we watch people playing live.
Yeah,
And we would sometimes sneak in the comments and say some things, and we would never say that we are the devs unless they recognized us. So we always went in anonymously, and we would just give people tell them to do stuff and asking them questions.
Well, I remember one of them actually even was about to ban us because we were backseat driving.
Yeah.
But then now we are friends, and now she really loves the stuff we do. So it was interesting. But that's the moment that I was like, the game is pretty fun when people actually get to it. And that's that was pretty fun to watch.
Before your first game, you don't have to say who, when, where, or how, but did y'all have previous game development experience, or did y'all just do some schooling for it and decide, hey, we're going to make a game? Or did you actually work for a couple of developers companies before you decided to do this?
Yeah, I worked for AAA for almost, 15, 16 years, 17 years, something like this. Yeah, so I shipped a lot of really big games before, so I have some experience on that.
Okay, cool.
But it was the first game that we made from start to finish. So
yeah. So technically, Delnito, this isn't your first game. It's your first published game you did yourself. You just learned from all the tools and tricks from AAA. That's probably why it looks so polished. That's one thing of course, to be fair, full disclosure for anyone who's actually played the game or even y'all, I've watched Karis' gameplay, and it's on my wish list now because of Karis' gameplay. I was like, for an indie game, this looks very polished. So
yeah, we actually released it. There was like no bugs whatsoever. It was so clean.
Yeah.
People were impressed that there's like really no bugs, and even if there were, people would never even notice. We would notice. We would notice like in places.
Oh, there was a bug.
Yeah, but it was something so small, people would never even notice.
Yeah. Like we knew, but many players they would play. They didn't even notice. We noticed, and then we would go in and patch it up.
Yeah.
And without anybody knowing, so it was amazing.
I think the thing that we did patch the most was difficulty. Because the game was so difficult when it came out.
Oh yeah, it was too difficult.
Yeah, it was so difficult. So we kept patching it, making it easier, and then finally the console version is like the easiest version, and it's still difficult. So that's something we learned that the game might be too difficult. So next game we definitely need to make an effort to make the difficulty more mainstream, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, there's no choosing your difficulty level. It's just going to be this is it?
No, you
Learn
do
the
have
game?
you do have a lot of modifiers to make the game easier. Like a lot of them, you can stop the timer, you can remove enemies, you can there's a lot of stuff you can do to make the game easier. But a lot of people don't even play with those, so that's what I'm saying. Like you kind of need to set up the base experience for most people, because otherwise they just and that's something we noticed. A lot of people just refuse to use the modifiers. They just don't.
Yeah, they
don't
just
mess
go
with
in
it.
and they play
Yeah.
the game as it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
that's something to learn.
Yeah, I actually seen that too, and I won't lie, I'm guilty of that too. I'll be like, okay, I always seen the normal difficulty or the default setting is this is the vision the artist intended. Like, this is what the game developers wanted you to, and then the harder or easier difficulties is like, okay, this is how you can customize your experience from that. But I'll give you as much as I will say, one thing I've noticed is that every person I've worked with in freelancing, difficulty scaling seems to be the hardest thing to do. But what you could do, so you don't have to do all that work, right? You could just say it's a Souls-like and slap the Souls-like brand on
That's
it.
actually
It's
how
not
we
the difficulty
advertised
scale,
it
bro.
initially. We actually advertised it like that. It was the Souls. Or did I say it was the it was the Dark Souls of memory games.
Mm.
And on Reddit, we just got slaughtered because people just hated everything. But on Reddit, people hate everything.
Yeah, they just hate everybody
Yeah,
and
so
everything. It's hard to get any traction on Reddit. Because it's,
Yep. By the way, I just saw Mikey just saying I sound low. I hope I just fixed that just now. I can't tell on my
Yep.
end.
Yeah, you do sound
So
closer.
yeah, I'm almost eating my mic. I think I might need to eat. Actually, hold on. Let me check this out. Let me test something here. How about now?
That's good. See, again,
I just
technical
took the
difficulties. That's
mic
how we're
filter
professionals.
off. Yeah, I literally just took the cone off, so that way there's no fuzzy thing on it. So that hopefully that'll work. But yeah.
What made you decide to do isometric for Liminal Point?
Liminal Point?
We thought so. I really like isometric cameras from older games. We were kids in the '90s, and there's a lot of isometric games that we liked. Strategy games, RPGs like Diablo
The Sims.
and whatnot. The Sims in your case. So we thought it was going to be interesting to do an isometric survival horror. So we actually, when we started making the story, we actually were thinking between first person and isometric. So and then I played Signalis, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like what I was thinking, and it works, and people really like it. So after that, we just start posting on X like some of the prototype for Liminal Point with the isometric view, and it just kind of blew up way more than we were expecting.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, people like the game looking like this,
This way,
so we should go with that.
Because we tried
Yeah.
different. We tried fixed camera, and it was okay. And then we tried first person, and it was okay. And then we put isometric version of pretty much the same game, and it just blew up, and people just loved it. And we're like, okay, I guess we have to do this.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people like to see the character. Like first person games, there are very few that I play anymore because I want to see the character that I'm playing. And I think isometric's a good choice for getting that character view as well as third person. So it looked pretty cool. But I was just wondering why y'all decided to do isometric, because there's been a lot of first person stuff coming out lately.
Yeah.
Well, the first person is easier for indies to do because you don't have to
The
make a character,
animation,
and this
yeah.
is one of the biggest expenses, I would say. It's very complicated. The model, the animations, it's a lot of work. So
the animation system is just so
Yeah.
complicated.
you need to be like a 3D artist, an animator, everything at once. So I understand why most indie games would go with the first person. It's just because it's just easier to make that game.
Well, there's a lot of
and
people
make
that
it
say
happen.
that they also feel more immersion with first person. I personally prefer to see the character, so that's
Yeah,
why I
me
kind of
too.
like Resident Evil game and whatnot. And Liminal Point, we still see the character. So.
Yeah. Mhm.
That was a question I was actually
personally
going to
don't
ask.
care either way.
One of
Cares.
the questions I had thought of is like with Liminal Point, you follow Lyra. Is Lyra is that all mocap you? Did you use a studio? How exactly did that work for Lyra's mocap?
So we buy a lot of stuff from the marketplace. So there's like a lot of animations. That's a lot of our cost is buying assets from the marketplace, and then we kind of edit them. But we also do some mocap and some animation by ourselves.
Yeah.
Not great, unfortunately.
I
'cause-
recognized one of those levels you were working on because I also have UE Marketplace. I think they call it Fab now or something like that. But that was one of the best things I liked about UE was the free assets. I think one of the mansion levels you had was an asset.
Mhm. Yeah, so we buy some of the assets and we kind of edit them, and yeah.
There would be you have that the win moment, right, in the new trailer.
Yes.
Yeah, there would be a moment in the new trailer that was fully.
There's a lot. There's
yeah.
a lot of
especially for the trailers
Cinematics.
for cinematics.
There's a
If you use a
cinematics.
mocap, I wear a mocap and I try to do my best, and then he tries to do his best to try to fix that animation. It's a lot of work, but yeah, we do mocap as well. We have a big
Excellent.
Yeah.
black suit. I think I have a photo somewhere on my X, me wearing the suit.
Yeah, I saw one because I was like trying to get some questions, and it makes it sound. I hate this because it makes it seem like I feel like I'm a stalker when I'm trying to get information about my guests, so I could ask questions. But yeah, do you remember seeing? I thought it was on the main site, but maybe it was yours. But you showed a picture of you in the mocap outfit.
Yeah.
Broadcast
Next, I believe.
that.
I think I have an axe in
Yeah,
my
I saw that.
in my pants, like a prop axe.
Yeah.
We were trying to capture
that was the
animation
one.
for the X swings for gameplay as well.
I have a question on that. What going back to Lyra, right? The main protagonist. What made y'all decide her looks and features? Like, first off, why did you choose her over a male? And then also, why did you choose her? How did you come up with her aesthetic? Like, what made you decide her? The way she looks.
Actually, so the story has been I've been thinking about the story for a while. My wife also really liked the story. So there's a bunch of stories and games that we want to make, but this one kind of kept propping up. And yeah, the story was always a woman, and this is the story of this woman in particular. So, and about her looks, I would say we actually started designing her for a few years, even before we actually started the game. But then when we started doing the prototypes, she was actually using the model from one of our other games, and then we kind of like start designing on top of that model to see what looks good in isometric perspective and with the lighting we have and all that.
Yeah, there was different colors of her clothing before, and
she was supposed to have a red jacket and being blonde.
Yeah, she was blonde, but it didn't look as good.
Yeah, so we kind of, and also because of the story, she's a rock star, like all this kind of stuff. So we kind of start feeling that having red hair was a little bit more interesting, and it kind of works well with the black leather suit, and darkness of the environment is more contrast. So it was a little bit of a lot of design beforehand, but also a lot of design after we started actually making the prototype to see what looks good.
Red has bonus points for me.
Yeah, I like to.
Yeah, he likes straight-headed
pretty women.
protagonists.
I like to play with pretty women in the games. So.
Yeah, and she's also pretty.
I mean, you could tell. I actually have both. Ironically, I have both games. I ironically have. Sorry to interrupt there, but I actually have both games in the thing. But I'm trying to just share something for people to know what we're talking about because I'm mad at this sometimes. I do apologize. But yeah, so here we go. Finally, it's loading up. Sorry about that. But yeah, so here's for everyone else who doesn't know. This is Liminal Point that's coming out. I noticed that you're putting it on, and I was telling my friends this. You're putting it on Steam. You're putting it on X. You're putting it on PS5, but also, which is the most interesting part here, I found out you're putting it on GOG, Good Old Games.
Yeah, they reached out to us. They wanted the game on GOG, so
Nice.
we were like, okay, all right. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we also on Epic.
What would you say was probably the most, I would say, challenging and also the most exciting part in the development for Liminal Point?
We're still developing it, so there's maybe there's a different question a few months from now. But challenging, what do you think was the most challenging thing? Well, I don't know. There's so many challenging
I
things.
know it's so hard.
It's
just so
there's
difficult.
everything is very challenging for this game.
Yeah, you think things are difficult, and then you start doing it, and it's
Yeah.
actually difficult times
Yeah.
10 times 100.
Yeah, like the fact we have an inventory system and save system.
And then something breaks, and you don't know what broke.
It's also a much bigger game than the Devil. Devil was pretty easy in terms of, I don't know, overall was kind of easy. I guess the optimization was the most difficult part, but this one, everything is difficult.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty, from the animation systems to making all the assets. It's such a much bigger game. The story is also difficult, even though we already had like the layout of the story for years. Now I'm actually writing the story and the characters, and it's quite tricky because I want to make sure that we make a really good story and
Yeah,
really
and
good
there's
characters.
no like loopholes or anything in
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, and everything flows nicely.
Mhm.
So yeah, overall it's a much bigger, much more difficult game. And there's a bunch of challenges. Like there's a lot of things that we had that was causing issues with the console part of it. So it was a lot more difficult to put this running on consoles than the Devil as well. There's so many challenges. It's kind of
Yeah.
it's not even funny.
Yeah.
That leads me to a question. Since you mentioned the different, because with the Devil in the Details, a lot of the time, like you, the player, you spend a bunch of time in one section and things change within that section, and then you progress to the next section, spend time there. With Liminal Point, is it going to be kind of like you're constantly going forward, or are you going to go back and revisit areas you've already been to?
So
How is that going to work?
yeah, so Liminal Point is very similar to I would say Resident Evil 2 or something along those lines, where or even Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill,
Yeah,
yeah.
Silent Hill 2 remake is also maybe a good. So you're going to go to a section, let's just say it's the mansion, and then you're going to spend a few hours in the mansion, but then you're pretty much like in the mansion of Resident Evil. You can go whenever you want, whatever you want, as long as you have the keys and whatnot. You can do whatever, and then come back, and the enemies are still dead, and the items are still picked up. And then when you finally leave the mansion, then you go to a new location. But yeah, it's very similar to the first Resident Evil or Resident Evil 2 remake, that you have like this large environment that you can pretty much explore at your own leisure. It's not it's definitely not a linear game.
Okay, so players they're not going to miss like the amount of detail that you put in because plot points or something. That's cool.
No, yeah, you're gonna do backtracking a lot. Like, oh, I just progressed this. I opened this door. I found this key. I'm gonna look on the other side of the mansion. I know there was a door locked with this, insignia. So I'm gonna go back, and now I know I have a clue to how to do a puzzle. So I'm gonna go back. It's very similar to the original Resident Evil, I would say.
Excellent. Now, how long do you project the gameplay should be? 8 hours, 10 hours, 15? Like, what is the goal that you would like to put for gameplay?
For our objective was always between 8 and 10 hours. So
Okay.
that's what we were. More than that, I feel like survival horror games start to lose their steam or becoming a little bit repetitive. So I think 8 to 10 hours is a good metric to have.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
then
where
players
kind
like me, they will spend 20.
Yeah,
Because I pick up everything.
yeah,
Like,
you're gonna
Yeah.
have a lot of collectibles to pick up,
Yeah.
but also replay the game to see other facets of the game, or use different
Yeah.
unlockable outfits and different endings. You're probably gonna replay the game as well. So it's like 8 hours times, I don't know how many times you want to keep playing the game, basically.
Yeah.
But if you just want to play it once, it's probably gonna be around between 8 and 10 hours.
So you're basically
Sounds
saying
cool.
you're gonna have like a new game plus feature when you said the unlockable outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar to what Resident Evil does.
Yeah. So, which Resident Evil game do you think this was like most inspired by?
So I would say Resident Evil 2 Remake is a good one. Resident Evil 1 Remaster is a good one. So a mix of those. And actually, I have to say the Resident Evil 9 in the Grace section in the care center is also something that I feel like it's kind of similar to what we're doing.
Nice. Yeah.
Just the care center, not really Leon's.
Yeah, I know. I played. The care center was like very reminiscent to RE1.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the kind of feeling we want.
I've been working and having some people playing that section of Resident Evil 9 in the background. I have people play on the other monitor while I work, so kind of inspiring to see how they're doing it.
That actually brings up a question I have. Obviously you got inspired by Resident Evil, so Resident Evil fans would probably be a target market. But I'm going to assume that you kept the practice of building a game design document in a high concept. When you were drafting that, what would you say was your target audience? Like, who would if someone came to me or anyone else out here, or even to like, hey, HideWorks, right? Who are you making this game for? What is your target audience?
Definitely classic survival horror gamers. People who liked the original Resident Evils, and people who like some of the remakes, I would say.
Also, people who play Silent Hill, Signalis.
Yeah, Silent Hill definitely started
Yeah.
very Silent Hill. Signalis, because of the camera perspective, is also a good one. So yeah.
That's why when we advertise the game, we put those names up to bring the fans of those games in to find our game, because those are the players that would love the game as well.
And I love those games too, so that's kind of easy. So The Devil, is a game that we loved working on, and you did like playing it.
I
Right?
loved it.
You have a lot of fun playing it.
I love it.
But it's not the game that I would say it's. I would not say it's my favorite type of game, while survival horror is. So.
Yeah, I love survival horror. But some of my favorite ones actually ended up being indie games. One was Phasmophobia. Yeah, that's a cop out. But also, right now I'm hooked also on Paranormal Cleanup. I like that concept. I'm so used to being able to bash zombies and stuff like that, but it's something totally different when you don't have that kind of weapons in the game. So you have to outlast the ghost, and in some cases, like in Paranormal Cleanup and Demonologist, you have to find the clues to actually exorcise the demons from the house, so then you can finish up what you're doing. Which still, you have no weapons, you're still vulnerable and helpless. I found that as a key trait in survival horror games. What would you say is how you would, how Liminal Point, I should say, mimics this kind of sense of vulnerableness to create that psychological horror for the player experience?
So the items are very limited, right?
A limited inventory.
Very limited inventory. You have to kind of manage what you take with you is quite limited. You can increase the size, but it's very reminiscent of like old Resident Evil games. There's very limited ammo, so you have to kind of scavenge for ammo. And now, over the past 6 months, we've been introducing some crafting mechanics. So you actually have some. The name is still in flux, but we're calling it black resin at the moment. So it's kind of similar to Grace with the blood in Resident Evil 9. So you kind of pick up this resin and you can make some items as long as you have the recipe for it. But it's still kind of streamlined. I don't want to make this, I don't want to turn this into World of Warcraft or something like that. It's still very survival horror kind of crafting.
Oh, yeah.
So very limited. You kind of find it, and now you have no bullets to deal with these enemies. Maybe you're just gonna try to bypass it, or there's another corridor you used. And the map system is also kind of fancy. You have to kind of, it's like a little puzzle in itself, the map, and you have to kind of figure out what paths you cleared or which paths you should clear, because you're going to go running back and forth more often. But if you don't have ammunition, maybe you can try to sneak by them or do a stealth kill or throw bottles to distract them. All these kind of mechanics to a lot of tools for the players to use to try to kind of survive,
And
not
also
just
some
combat.
and also variety of things to do in the game.
Yep.
That's interesting. What mechanic you described just brought me back to Thief, the Metal Age, or the early Thief games, where it wasn't just a simple, here's the compass, go here. You had to look at your map. Okay, what room am I in? And figure that. I like that. That's really interesting. That you have to think.
Yeah, that's actually one of the pillars for any game I make and games I like is you cannot just go guns blazing. You need to kind of think first. You can do that, but you should be able to think a little bit before you act. If there's a game that you don't need to think, I'm not a big fan of.
So what you're saying is that Liminal Point is not a power fantasy. You actually have to have mastery of skill.
Well, I mean, if you have a lot of ammo, you can be a power fantasy for a little. But in some rooms,
that fantasy will be over.
In some
fast.
rooms and boss battles, definitely power fantasy. But for I would say the majority of the game, you're going to be scrambling for anything that scraps that you can find and ammo you can find, and decide, am I going to kill this guy, or am I just going to try to stun him and go past him, or I got more health than ammo, so I'm just going to take damage. A lot of decisions. So it's going to be a game that you have to think. And there's going to be a lot of decisions to take.
Like I would probably just spend a lot of time collecting everything. So before I go to the next section, to make sure I have as many things as I can possibly.
And you're going to
because I get very stressed if I'm out of ammo. I'm just I become like in the panic mode.
And you're going to have a storage like in Resident Evil as well. So if you have like, I picked this shotgun bullets, but I start shotgun shells, but I don't need to use them right now because I don't have a shotgun. I'm just going to put them in the stash and then I'll come back later, save the game and whatnot. That's another thing. Limited save games like Resident Evil as well.
What would be something that people misunderstand about making horror games that you've learned that is something you wish you could probably convey about them?
Well, tutorials are very difficult to make. I'm not sure if it's just survival.
Any game.
Yeah, no. I don't know if it's just a horror game or not, but the tutorial portion is really hard. Something that you think it's very kind of, it makes sense to you. It's really hard to convey to other people. So that's something we
learned that in the Devil.
But the Devil is also a little bit more of a unique game. So I'm hoping that this one will be a bit easier. But still, we definitely need to spend some time doing some
Especially
some
people. What you notice, people don't read. So at all, they just skip everything, and then like, what was that? And so we learned that in the tutorial, we need to kind of force the player to try and do anything, any mechanic, any
even with the control, the UI on screen, like saying this button is for this, people still, it's like invisible, even if it's in the middle of the screen. So that's kind of
like press this button for this action, but people it would be in the middle of the screen,
like the Devil. The Devil has. The Devil has a press spacebar to highlight cursed objects, and the arbiter is saying you need to, look at the cursed objects and that. And a lot of people on stream is like, well, how do I highlight this? How do I do this? And then the prompt is 100% of the time on screen, in the middle of the screen, so it's like invisible. It's tricky. That part is tricky. Other than that, in the horror games,
so we have to kind of try, and it's also very difficult because. To test this, because every time you kind of need a new person to test, because we already you cannot test it on the people that already played the game and know how to use the tools and know what kind of buttons to press. So to test, if you do a tutorial, you need to test on the new person pretty much every time, to make sure that people understood what needs to be pressed, what needs to be done, how to do things, and so on. So it's complicated.
Another thing was that the game is extremely stressful, and again, it's like for the horror portion, it's so stressful. That's why we kind of kept toning down the game. Another mistake was that my wife was the main tester of the game, and she has like photographic memory, so that kind of destroys the game for 90% of the people. The game was so hard because most people don't have the same memory you have.
Yeah, because
Now, are you talking about Devil or
because I would go through in the first trial of the game, there was like 20 objects that need to memorize, and there was like 2 balls that
was the first version
floating,
of the game.
Floating through the house, and they're moving so fast. They were moving your time so fast, like lightning fast. And I was still able to pass it. Yeah. And I was able to remember all the objects and the melody and everything. And then we realized that most people can, and it was a mistake. We needed to test
it was a big
people.
mistake. Even though we wanted to make the game hard, but it was so hard. It was ridiculous. So definitely it's some lesson learned for Liminal Point.
I unfortunately
hold on real quick. Just for everyone, because I see we've gotten over 50 people watching right now across X, Rumble, Kick, and YouTube. I'm going to put this out there because I said it in the beginning. You can feel free to ask questions you want to ask HideWorks, the devs of Devil in the Details, Liminal Point. My mods are showing the way y'all could support them. And you don't need to do a super chat. Just ask your questions. As long as it's not political, we will highlight and ask them for you so you can get answers. But definitely, if you find these games interesting, go take a look at them. You don't need to do a super chat. This is just basically an interview on them. So if this game sounds interesting so far and you want to ask a question, go right ahead. Go ahead, Karis.
I wanted to follow up on I've only played the Devil in Details about like 70 minutes. And that's partially because I am terrible at the game, but I like it. And it's one of those things. You mentioned that you have a photographic memory. I had to come up with, and this is me just kind of talking about like my love of the game and realizing that I'm terrible at it. I would come up with silly, ridiculous names for some of the objects. You had a frame in the beginning room. It looked like a picture of Minas Tirith, and so that's what I'd call it. Yeah. You'd have a painting. I think it's the famous like the lady in the water. I called it the lady in the lake. Yeah. I would look at something else and I think I just call it like one of the Paul brothers. Like I would try and give weird nicknames to the objects.
I'll do that too. Yeah.
A lot of people do that. It's fun to see the streams. Like there's one that is Jack Black. there's so many, so funny.
Many different funny names people will give into.
Some quite inappropriate.
Sometimes
to
inappropriate,
mention here. But it's funny, and it's also
funny.
Good to see people have different tricks, different memory tricks to kind of be able to pass in. But it's okay. You can play the game the way you want. I even say in the game, like if you want to take photos, take photos. Doesn't matter as long as you're having fun.
The arbiter said like it's a good time to start cheating.
Pen and paper.
So there's a follow up to that I wanted to ask if that's going to be transferred over because compared to like. I think there's been a handful of games out there that do the kind of memorizing thing. What you guys do is something very interesting where like I'm going through the hallway trying to memorize everything. I've got like 45 seconds before something asks. And then bam, you throw a curveball in that like you cut the timer down to 8 seconds and sorry, he was just joking about. Or you throw a ghost in there to completely throw my mind off and like everything spun around. Can we expect something like that in Liminal Point where you're just going to kind of like, hey, surprise, we're throwing a curveball at you?
Probably.
Yeah. About
Probably.
Some Easter eggs from the devil. So the people who played the Devils in the Details can, find some little details in Liminal Point and say, I know this wasn't the Devil in the Details.
But in terms of pranks, I don't know if there's going to be anything similar to the Devil. Like now you got reverse controls or something like this. Maybe not.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it for
Oh my
like a
God,
new
the
game
reverse
plays or
controls
something.
is I hate it the most. It's the worst prank. My brain cannot
I think
work around it.
I think my favorite, one of my favorites is the mask and the train.
Oh, yeah, I love the mask, but yeah, the reverse controls is just something that messes with me. I absolutely cannot do it.
Yeah.
I just try to wait around.
It was a good one. I will admit. The first time around, I was like, "Oh no, you didn't. You didn't."
Yeah.
There's a lot of memorizing in a game. I'm an old dude. I got CRS disease.
Yeah, the Arbiter is very unique, like character. It has so much personality that it's fun to watch people play the game, and then
Most
like
people hate him for some reason.
hate him,
Hate
talk to
him
him like
like-
I hate you. Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
People get very emotional. And they talk to him, and it's so funny because sometimes there is like just randomly the Arbiter will reply something
Yeah.
to people, and it was like such a perfect moment that a lot of people thought that we're listening and recording, so that we have some kind of a system that listens and prompts, but it's just actually randomly happened.
Or good timing. For
Which is good
example,
timing.
on the second trial, at the end when he removes the paintings, and it's the first thing you were going to.
Yeah.
And then the paintings are not there, and the people start complaining, "Where's the
Like, where are the
paintings?"
paintings?
And then he's like, "Oh yes, the paintings." And it's like perfect timing. So it's it's pretty good. But the Devil is a lot more kind of comedy game because it's inspired in Army of Darkness and Evil Dead. So it's a lot more fun kind of thing. The Liminal Point is a lot more serious. So I don't know if we're gonna have.
It's way more serious.
Yeah, it's way more
Story
serious.
and
Like the story is-
dark and deep and emotional.
The story is so dark. I think I'm gonna get depression because I'm serious. It's really and it's not the.
So it's
dark
hard to
parts.
put any humor in it because it's a bit too.
Oh, there should be still some humor.
Yeah, we're going to
But
try.
because I like the Shakespeare kind of method of thinking.
Yeah, it's
like,
just not on the same level as in the.
yeah, definitely
the
not.
devils
But
and the
it's still
details.
gonna have some fun
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But it's definitely a much more serious game.
Mhm.
I got a couple of questions. First off, I don't think you clarified it, but and it's probably obvious anyways. But I'm assuming you're using the Unreal Engine. So is it in? Personally, I favored Unreal Engine 4.26. I really hate Unreal Engine 5. Have you had problems with Unreal Engine 5? Are you using Unreal Engine 5? And will you be updating to Unreal Engine 6 when it comes out in the next year or so? Also, the last thing I want to ask is, I'm a left-handed player. I noticed that you do have controller-friendly options, which is great for my disability. But will I be able to customize the bindings to satisfy my left-handed play style?
So regarding the last question, yes, that's actually one of the reasons we had to. People are asking like, why is the demo not ready? Where is this and that? Because we promised a demo, at the beginning of the year, and it's already halfway through. And one of the reasons was we wanted to add control remapping and a bunch of other stuff to the game, a bunch of other features, and it was extremely complicated. So we actually had to rebuild the game from the ground up, and that's why it took so long. But now you have control remapping, so you're going to be able to do what you just asked. And yes, we were using Unreal 5. I know there's a lot of concerns with the performance, but we're trying to do everything we can to kind of mitigate the issues that people have. And usually people, it's not about performance per se. They have stuttering, which is what the shaders are compiling. That's the biggest problem with Unreal 5. So what we do is we actually... Our levels work a little bit differently from other similar games. So instead of having like just a giant world that you're just walking through, you actually, when you go into a specific room, you actually have a little bit of a black screen kind of fade out and fade in. It's still fast, but during that time, it kind of loads everything it needs to load. So you should never be in that situation where you're like waiting for shaders to compile. And we were doing like some serious memory optimization and everything, some crazy ones, because I still want people to play on the Steam Deck, and right now it's running at 35 constant on the Steam Deck. So yeah, and in terms of Unreal 4, we cannot really use Unreal 4 anymore because people don't know this, but in consoles, you need to be in one of the latest versions of the firmware, and that requires like more advanced versions of Unreal. So even if we wanted to ship a game on 4, we can't anymore. And even older versions of Unreal, it's a pain. But if Unreal 8 5.8 comes out, we need to basically port the entire game for that, because otherwise it will just not be able to be ported to the console.
Yeah.
That's
That's why I
reason.
stopped freelancing, because
So that's one of the things.
yeah, no, apologies. I'm just saying that's why I stopped freelancing. Is when they said, "Oh, you need to optimize, you need to do Unreal in your files." Like, yeah, I can do that, but then they're like, "Why didn't you optimize?" I was like, "That's your job. You hired me for the level design. You didn't hire me for the optimization." But when would you say a demo would come out?
We're working very hard on it. I barely sleep working on it. It's so it's a difficult question to answer, because we're still trying to figure out what part of the game is best for the demo, because we could just our initial plan was to do the demo starts in the mansion, but there's so many mechanics that are kind of hard to grasp, so we probably either we make a bunch of stuff for the game that we're going to throw out, like tutorials, and it just seems like a bit of wasted work. So we're still kind of defining which part of the game we're actually going to grab and polish that for the demo. But it needs to be a part that has teaches the players the mechanics and all that. But usually the first part of the game, the first level or whatnot, especially in AAA games, based on my experience, that's like the last thing you do, because that's the part where you start making the tutorials for the game, and that's one thing we definitely need for the demo. But it's a part that we don't have, because we were working on the mansion, which is the biggest chunk of the game, and the hospital, which is also another big chunk of the game, and the sewers. But the initial part, we actually don't have much, so we still need to decide which part of the game we're actually gonna make for the demo and kind of polish that. But if we do the beginning of the game, that there's almost nothing constructed for that, we need to kind of switch gears and go to that now. So that's why it's kind of a tricky question to answer. And then there's also the matter of all the optimization that we need to do, and the languages we need to translate to, and the voice acting we need to do, and cinematics and all that. So it's kind of unfortunately I don't have really a good time estimate for this, because if we just grab the stuff we have and put it in the demo, it's just going to be a lot of throwaway work, and I kind of don't want to do that.
Also what we learned with the demo, that it's very important to have a good demo.
Yes,
Yeah.
very important, and
Very
people
important.
learn the mechanics.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's going to be quite tricky.
But I'm going to point this out. I was trying to see if I forgot to bookmark it, but I don't know. I know y'all are aware, obviously, clearly, of 80 level covering y'all's game a while back. But did you know that you're getting international notice? I saw an article from a Chinese website and even a Japanese website talking about your game.
Oh yeah, there's like a million of them.
Yeah.
And Level 80 actually, so they talked about us 3 times actually, and then one of them, the last one, the 4th time, they actually asked us to do an interview with us, so we actually did that. But yeah, Japanese media, Future Game Show also reposted a lot of our stuff. Jeff
And you have a trailer coming out for the Horror Games Awards, I believe it's called, on June 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The new trailer.
The new trailer is coming.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a lot of press from like everybody. Vice also posted an article about us when we announced. Yeah, it's this game has, the Devil was super difficult to get any exposure, because again, it's a game that people don't even understand what it is. But this game has been very successful, and we have a ton of wish lists too. So that's reassuring.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
a lot
we
of
covered your wish list. Normally, we have a section called Gaming Milestones where we acknowledge sales and wish list numbers. I don't think we covered your wish list, because usually we showcase your tweet. Could you tell us, if you're okay with it, what your number or wish list you have so far? Like an average part, like is it 5K? Is it 10K?
Oh, what? No. No. So right now across platforms, I think we have 130,000.
Wow.
Nice.
Well,
this is
you
gonna be a
just
big
added
game.
one more.
This is gonna be a big game. Like I think we're the 460th or 50th most wishlisted game on Steam at the moment. So it's
Which
I
is
had
very impressive because there's like
Yeah.
20,000 games every year.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
and this
I think
includes
400 something. So
and this includes games from before. So it's not
Yeah.
just 20,000. It's actually all the games that are still from years ago. Still, so that's
every year, yeah, they have like 20,000 games every year.
yeah. So this is probably like more around like 100 to 100,000 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are around 450 or 460, something like that last time I checked, which is good and impressive because there's a lot of AAA games that are doing worse than us. So
Yeah,
that's
behind
crazy.
us, which is very impressive.
That is excellent. One question I had, where do you, as a duo team, see yourself in 5 years? Do you want to stick as an indie developer? Do you want to take on people? What is the plan 5 years from now?
Definitely still doing Hindi games, hopefully. I hope it makes enough money that we can,
Expanding.
live with the money from the game and expand a little bit, maybe the team a little bit, but not. I think we should still have a small team.
Yeah,
I would
maybe
say-
like 1 or 2 extra
Yeah,
people full
not-
time, and
yeah.
others is just maybe a couple of
Couple
freelancers.
yeah,
Hmm.
but not expand much more than that. I think I like to keep it kind of small.
Yeah.
I'll definitely dust off my resume if that happens.
Well, here's an
Good
here's an
freelancer.
add-on to that question. Do you see yourself in 5 years still doing horror games, or do you want to expand it to different types?
Or we have already prototypes.
Yeah, we have prototypes of
for
other
different kinds.
It's mostly horror, but
Mostly.
but there's a few other ones that are definitely not horror. So our specialty is horror for sure, but
Yeah.
we have some that are not horror. Yeah. Especially with X and all the other platforms being so, it's becoming very complicated to
They just flag
to
everything.
market our games
Yeah.
because it just gets just for to get an idea, when we posted something about our game initially, we would get like 300,000, 400,000, 700,000 views, and now if we get slapped with a graphical violence thing from X, we get like 2,000, 5,000 views, which is like nothing compared to what we used to have, and it's becoming like super complicated, even censoring the trailers and blocking all the violence. For some reason, X thinks we're bad people and just blocks us immediately. It's becoming very complicated. And TikTok is the same thing.
And it's frustrating because I see other games, they have like
even
heads
to-
blow up, and it's fine.
Yeah, even today
And
I
then
just saw
ours,
something
we
super
just-
violent and they were fine.
Yeah, we just censored even the violence with censors, so it's not doesn't show on X, and it still flags us.
Yeah, it just became the black sheep for some reason, and now
Yeah.
it's hard to get out of that position, unfortunately. But
Personally,
that
I
also
think
makes us think that maybe we need to do something else that is not just horror, because it's so hard to market right now, the horror games.
Yeah.
personally, I'm going to tell you straight up. Obviously, if you haven't noticed, I'm a small content creator. But my original handle, this is what the one I contacted y'all with on X, was not Livistro, my alt, in case something went wrong or something like that, or I forgot, because I got a brain injury, so sometimes I'll forget my passwords. I don't automatically save my passwords on a computer. I'm a little paranoid about that. But X thought I was a bot and shut down my account because of that. So I know, I think it's I was like, AI thinking I'm a bot. And then I get accused of being a bot all the time on my videos. So it happens. I think it's part of it's the AI panic thing. But I kind of hope that we're getting a lot of people watching us now. I'm gonna let you know that. But I hope that the shorts that we convert this live stream into actually helps you out, because like I said, we showcase your game and we put the link to your game in our descriptions and comments, right? And share it out. And those shorts get multiple views. And we're like, okay, since we can get short views on this is a great way as content creators to help you guys out, like you indies in this case, to share it out. So I hope that'll help you offset the cost. But I think, Karis, you were telling me that you tried sharing their thing one time and you saw something similar.
Yeah. So right after you posted the, you had done your test of like, I'm doing a test with this trailer.
Yes. Yes.
I made a quote tweet of that, and then I did something that I normally don't do, which is I did a boost on X, which is where you can actually pay money to send this out even greater. And it was like the next day or the same day, I did a post for the game Confronted. Somehow, Confronted got more attention and more likes, like more interaction, than what I paid to have your post do. And I'm like, no way. No way. This is nonsense. The boosting is still going, but I'm like, I was doing my own test. It's like,
Yeah.
what is going on here?
Yeah, it's been very frustrating. And I was actually talking with Grok, the AI, about it and see, like, is there anything we can do? And it's like, he says, oh, sexy woman with horror setting is like the worst combination possible, because it's going to be, flagged almost instantaneously. So that's super frustrating.
And that's really unfortunate because Lyra technically, it's TJ that did, I think it's like, I can't remember the name of it because I'm drawing a blank, but they were doing like a summer camp killer kind of.
Oh yeah, the lake.
The lake, yeah. Steam, they couldn't post their Steam capsule.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because they literally had just like the same shot that Alex Vance technically does for Half-Life 2. And it's like, your character has more clothing than that one does.
It's becoming ridiculous. So the issue is, and I think this all goes, again, I didn't know too good to politics, but I guess it's not really politics at this point. The group, the Australian group, Collective Shout or whatever it is causing so much attrition in the payment systems like MasterCard and Visa. And that's having a chain reaction everywhere. So X supposedly is not against censorship, but they're against not making money on ads. And because all these platforms don't want anything related to violence or sexy women or whatnot, they just refuse to be, in the same place as this type of game. So that's one of the reasons we get like flagged immediately, because they don't want to pay if you have ads close to violent games or sexy games. And then
it's so like crazy, like it's like they'll have these ads on like TV shows with all that content, but you can't have it online.
It's also very it's not fair either, because again, like a lot of games are way more violent than ours, and they get no problems. So it's very inconsistent in terms of the rules too.
I'm going to point out for everyone else, I put HideWorks X account on the screen here, but if you go onto the description, and this is, I forgot to ask you to verify I got this correct, but I also had the devs' personal accounts. You have Lady Zero on X and Lord Zero on X. If everybody got that right for the devs?
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. They are in the description. The best way I would recommend doing, and this is how I find out great games and not a bunch of political negativity bullshit, pardon my French, is go subscribe to them and give them a follow. Make sure that you get their notifications. So every time they have something out, you actually help them in the algorithm by hearting and retweeting and leaving a comment. That would actually help them out, because, well, if you're coming in and you're like, what the hell is HideWorks? What the hell are you talking about? What's the Liminal Point? Why does the devil have it? Well, they showcase a lot of their gameplay and what they're doing in those tweets. That would actually help out and share it to more people, getting them. I mean, clearly the world is watching, the world is covering it. You got journalists covering it, but what we need is more. What I personally think they need, I should say, is more people interested in the game sharing that out on Twitter to help break that algorithm block.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Thank you. Because we don't even know how we're gonna I mean, it's still ways off, but with the situation, we don't even know how we're going to advertise our next game because it's going to be even more complicated than Liminal Point.
I think you're doing pretty good despite things.
We were. Now it's slowed down substantially. Like I said, before we were having hundreds of thousands of views, and that corresponds of Wishlist too. We could see, every time we posted and we got 400,000 views, we got 500, 600, 700 Wishlists. And now because the posts are so small, we got 100, 60, 50, so I mean, this is still really good metric for indie games. A lot of indie games dream of having this a day, but
we were there too.
With the devil. We got 0, 0, 1,
and then 50. Oh my god!
Oh my god, 50 is the best day of all time.
So we were there. We were there.
But we need to strike the iron where it's hot, and we need to make sure that this game is financially successful, so we can actually keep going. Because we're basically using our life savings to make this game, so we really have a lot of it riding. So
let me ask a question, since you mentioned that if budget and engine technology were no limitation, what is your dream build that you would like to do?
In terms of game, or
in terms of game? Yeah.
I think I would still make a survival horror game, to be honest. I think so. Mm-hmm. There's other games that I would like to make. Many years ago, I would love to make a RPG, Final Fantasy or something along those lines.
Ooh, nice. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. You consider making an RPG?
But but I think those games require so many resources, but again, you said infinite resources, so maybe something like that. But the survival horror, definitely, because it's definitely one of my favorite genres. So
it looks like you got a customer in our chat already. He's one of my friends, but the Goon Room says it's an instant buy for me.
Nice.
Nice. Thank you.
So yeah, but yeah, thank you everybody who are coming in. You said you only had availability for an hour. We are hitting the hour mark. We can stay longer if you want to continue talking more about your game. If you feel like we haven't addressed anything you want to tell the audience, we'll definitely make sure that happens. Or if you need to wrap it up.
For now, I guess we're still okay because the kids are still watching TV. Because that's pretty much our deadline is the kids getting tired of watching TV and start coming here.
Yeah.
So I think
I have a son, so I know exactly how that is. That's
another difficulty. Actually, you asked what's one of the most difficult things.
Difficulties.
The kids is a big difficulty, technical challenge.
Oh yeah, kids take so much of your time. As a parent, I can definitely tell you that I agree. I'll be doing game dev and I won't be able to make deadlines on time because I'm a single parent. I'm a full-time dad, single parent.
Oh, that sounds difficult.
Oh,
yeah. And when I was in college, I used to be in the service in the military. Got out of the military, and I was medically retired. And my now ex-wife, she's like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" It's like, "I'm bored. I can't sit here and do nothing." I tried the Al Bundy sitting on the couch and watching TV thing. I can't do that, and I can't technically work. I can work, but it's really stringent. It's like, well, if you could do anything you wanted, what would you do? And I was like, honestly, she gets like, I want to make video games. And well, she knew this about me, but she didn't realize about me that she married a gamer. So she actually rolled her eyes that I should have known. Well, during my course of college, I would have my son in one hand, right, to get to where I'm getting at here. When he was baby, when he was born, and I'd be feeding him while doing my assignments for university for game design. And then on the top of all that, because I knew I was in my 30s and I'm competing with a lot of younger kids, I was like, I would try to do game jams and I would try to do online work studies for companies, try to get my foot in the door. And then so that ended up turning into trying to do game design. We get divorced. I'm now with a toddler because she didn't want to. She wanted to pursue her own thing, right? It's like I'm not trying to make her look bad. I'm just saying that's just how it went. And I learned, I was like, It's quiet. Finally, I can focus on my programming, my coding, all that stuff, only to realize, wait a minute, it's quiet and I have a toddler in the house. So a lot of things just never went as planned. And then now that I'm a content creator, VTube content creator, which I do this to keep his own personal life separate from content creation. So that's how I keep myself anonymous. He'll still come in and be like, "Dad, I'm hungry," or "Dad, look at this," or I should have never. His first game I got him. This was during when COVID hit. Was Minecraft, and since then he has evolved. He's starting to get a taste for he's 10 now. He's starting to get a taste for horror games and this and that. And so I'm like, oh no. So I can imagine with you guys how hard that could be, especially with the horror games.
Yeah, they're pretty small. Our son is 2 and our daughter is like 5. So it's complicated. Especially they come and they say, "Oh, I want to watch Lyra game." So and my son is like crazy about the trailers for some reason. He's like hypnotized by the trailers. So he keeps wanting to watch it. I was like, "This is a bit violent, but okay." Okay. All right.
Yeah,
It's okay. My dad put me watching Aliens when I was like 3 or 4, so I guess I grew up okay. So.
Broke you in early.
I know.
They're fun because when they growing up, seeing all of this, it becomes just a normal thing. I think it's even better because they know it's not real. It's like, oh, monsters are not real. That's what my daddy makes.
Yeah.
You know, so in their head, it's something that daddy makes. It's not that they don't exist. They exist in the computer and daddy makes them.
And our daughter loves the Arbiter.
And she loves the Arbiter. Yeah, she loves. She always loves to watch him and hear him talk, and that's one of the things. Like even all of her drawers, like, this is mommy, this is daddy, this is me, and this is a monster, and this is a zombie. and then and this is for daddy's game, a monster.
Well, that explains you, Mikey, for sure. One of his first horror games was Resident Evil 3 at 9 years of age.
Wow. 9 years old. Wow, that's.
And which got on our wish list.
Which one was it?
3.
3.
Yeah.
That was
my first game was Pong. I was 7 years old in 1978.
So violent.
Yeah, very violent. I you should have said, Bo. I as old as you are, you could have said my first violent video game was Death Race, the arcade game. The first controversial video game that started the whole video games are violent narrative. I covered that a while back. It was interesting. But you, like I said, you also got a wish list from one of our mods, Alan Jones. So
thank you.
Yeah, I did too. I'm not a big horror fan, but I liked what I saw. I liked it.
Yeah,
we converted you.
Well, you can be there for the story because the story is going to be very, very interesting. So,
for Liminal Point, is there like a wild bug or a crazy like developmental disaster that you can possibly share with us, like a little behind the scenes of, like, you set something up, you saved your project, and then you came back the next day and like, why is everything inverted? Like, is there like a crazy story that you can share?
That was one bad thing, that even though we were using Perforce and everything, I don't know if you guys are acquainted with Perforce, but it's a tool that you can, save different iterations of your game, and you can kind of revert to go back to a different day or a different change list. So we were working on like 3 trailers back to back last year, and there was a lot of stuff going in for the trailers. And then suddenly the game just kind of crashed, and for some reason a lot of the sequence changes for the game were broken, and it was such
corrupted,
it was really complicated, and it's the stuff that Perforce is supposed to mitigate. So you would just say, okay, I'm going to go back to this day and this and that, but yeah, there was some ramifications. It was really complicated to kind of go back to a good state, which is actually another reason why we decided to make the game from the ground up, is to make sure that this time it was super clean. Because unfortunately making the trailers and stuff, we had to move so fast. I guess something broke along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
In terms of funny stuff, I don't know if there's any funny bugs on Liminal Point. For the devil, for sure, there's some stuff that happens that because it's so random, the game, even I get startled sometimes. That I was not expecting, it just happens.
Yeah.
But for Liminal Point, I don't know. I think so far, there was nothing really interesting in terms of bugs.
Okay.
Mhm. I think we have some issues with the mocap. Then it was like floating.
Yeah, and like the proportions are
The
very.
proportions were so weird, and like
Yeah.
my head was like broken. It looked like I had a broken
Yeah.
head. And like was a TV show with a broken neck lady.
The haunting of the Hills House.
Hunting on the Hill House. I don't know if you saw the show that she had like a broken neck lady. So that's how like I looked on the software when he looked at the software. It's like the head was completely like to the side.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And we couldn't fix it. We couldn't understand what's going on with it.
Sometimes you get something like
Yeah.
that from mocap.
Yeah, it reminded me of that TV show. So, yeah, one of those things. But so far, we don't know. When we start testing the game, I'm pretty sure there would be some things that we may find hilarious. Maybe you'll be able to record them too, like bloopers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. I do record bloopers from. I recorded bloopers from some of our other prototypes, but this one again, because the other ones I saw some funny stuff, but this one I haven't really
Yeah.
seen something like that crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have a $10 super chat, and we're not. I'll do the bit. I have it starred for later, so because usually we do videos for acknowledging a super chat, so we'll do your videos later, Sonia. But she's one of our mods. But she asked, "What games inspired Liminal Point?" Which I believe we did cover. But remember, we started covering it. We didn't have a lot of people. Now we have like over 100 people now. And she also asked something different. If you are horde game devs, which we covered that as well, what are your top 3 horror games?
So inspirations for
Good question.
Liminal Point, I would say it's Perfect Blue, the movie, which is an animated movie.
Yeah, not exactly the game. There's also like movies and
Yeah.
some like kind of stories that we
Yeah.
implemented.
So definitely Perfect Blue. There's the anime Nana.
Nana, yeah.
There's Shutter Island.
Ooh, good movie.
Silent Hill 2 for sure, and Resident Evil 2 as well. I would say those are the main inspirations. All of them in a little bit of a different facet. Could be the characters, could be the premise, could be the
music.
setting, the music. So
Like a Nana, yeah.
yeah. So there's definitely a few inspirations all around from those. But those, I would say, those are the Signalis is also indirectly also inspired it as well.
Yeah.
But those would be the main ones. And what was the other part of the question?
What are your
She
top
asked,
3?
what was your top 3 horror games? So I don't think she means inspired Liminal Point. I think like your favorite top 3
Yeah.
games.
So top favorite 3 would be Liminal Point. Top favorite 3 horror
What about that
games.
demo, right?
Which demo?
I forgot the name. It was a demo that never became a game.
Oh, PT.
PT, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I guess that's also for the devils in the details, kind of.
yeah.
It
PT
was
for the devil.
the
Yes,
PT,
for sure.
yeah. It was one of the good ones. Too bad it didn't get anywhere, but
Yeah.
it was good.
But in terms of favorite horror games, I would say definitely. It's kind of hard because I guess I feel like the top 3 would be Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It's like I think my favorite horror game of all time, even though it's not really what I'm aiming for Liminal Point because it's more action, but the original Resident Evil 4, I would say it's my favorite game, my favorite horror game of all times.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Yep.
Good choice.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I really like Resident Evil 2 remake as well.
I like the 7 because
I like 7.
because I watched you play and
Yeah,
it was so I remember I got so jump scared. I screamed so much. Oh my god. I don't know. It was one of the first games like I watched horror games. And I was
Oh,
sitting
that was one of your first. Wow.
yeah, and I remember in the beginning the cow fell or something.
The
what
what?
was that? In the beginning, the demo, we all even played the
The
demo.
cow.
Yeah, it was the cow or something. No,
I remember it was
Mistaken
really
something.
freaky, like when the old man we were just investigating stuff, and then
Yeah.
we look at the door, and the guy just passes by.
Oh
Without
yeah,
seeing us.
yeah, I
That
got
was
so
such
scared too.
such a freaky
I
moment.
think that was
for
one
me.
of my like first experience with the horror games, and I got very impressed and I got so
That
scared.
was cool.
That's a good one to get introduced to, because
Yeah.
like 7 was, for me, 7 was like a gross Texas chainsaw.
Yeah,
You know,
it
Resident Evil.
is.
Everything was just disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got inspired by a Texas Chainsaw. You can even tell
You can
because of
tell.
the table.
Tell.
They
Yeah.
the table. It's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Actually, tell. But that was good for me. That was the first experience, and
And then you played Visage, which
I
is
couldn't even leave the room. I was so
that game is so
terrified.
terrifying.
I think it's actually it was one of the games we showcased. Visage was one of the games we showcased. I think it was actually you that showcased it, Karis.
We never finished it. I couldn't even leave the room. I was so
I
terrified.
can't remember, but I do remember.
People call it Visage.
Visage.
I call it Visage because I know the makers are
French.
French. So
I do know that it's in our intro, because we at the end of each live stream we have thing that we call we originally called it interesting games we find interesting. It was something that we had originally because unlike other podcasts that had a lot of negativity about games, I was like everyone in this panel has to find one game they find interesting. They can't have played it. It can't be an old game. So I had all the cop-out rules acknowledged that you are forbidden from copping out. You have to find a game you haven't played. You're going to have to risk saying why you think this is interesting. And one of those games was Visage. So I find it interesting that you mentioned that one. It's like, oh, we covered that one.
I just pulled it up. Yeah, I do remember us covering it. I don't remember who covered it, but yeah, I can see why we covered it.
Yeah.
I would consider that a horror game, actually, Valkyrie. I'll give you that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think one of the latest ones that I played, I don't know, it's not really a horror game, but I was terrified, is a Metroid Dread. I was so terrified with those.
the Emmys.
The Emmys, oh my god, I was so panicking.
It is.
They are so scary.
In
I don't know.
essence, it's a horror game.
I was like, my hands were, the console was so wet because I was sweating. I was so panicking and scared. Emmys really, I think I aged so much playing that game.
Gained 5 years.
It's classified as a horror game. For me, it was a horror game.
It is a horror game. It is.
Right?
But yeah,
It's kind of like it's a Metroidvania, but it's kind of a survival horror too, you know.
No,
in a
but
way.
it is a horror game. If you look at the original Metroids, it is a horror game. And even the designs, if you see the
Yeah,
design of
it's
the one-
scary.
Yeah. It's a horror game, but it's just a very colorful and not super scary horror game, but it's still a horror game.
I don't know, for me it was very scary. Every time I got that sound of Emmys and got into the room, I would be like, oh no, not again. Yeah.
It was effective then.
Yes.
They are pretty stressful.
Very stressful. Very stressful. I understood in that moment. I was like, you know what? Maybe the devil's in the details is not that stressful.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one is worse, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Devil in the Details was stressful for me, but again, like I
Are you
consider
playing-
myself having. What's that?
Are you playing on PC?
I am on PC.
Okay, yeah, that's the most difficult version of the game.
Oh.
You can stop the timer now, though. If you stop the timer, it's gonna be much more. It's the new meta is you stop the timer because you clock paused, because otherwise it's just so difficult.
Yeah. Just pass the clock to play,
You're
and
gonna have more
then it will
fun.
still be difficult, but you will have more fun.
But even in terms of number of items, it's so much more difficult than Xbox and PlayStation, because Xbox and PlayStation you even have the lives, so you can in Xbox and PlayStation you can actually pick some potions that allows you to make mistakes. You know, like you go pick up these potions, and then instead of, if you have any item wrong, you lose. There you can have this.
The potion kind of saves you.
Yeah, it kind of saves you. So
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, so I would recommend to make it less stressful to play on the console if you
Yeah.
can. Also,
I was
it's
going.
on Xbox, so it's a good timing.
I was going under the sort of like I think Levistra mentioned like, well, this is what the developer wanted, so I'm gonna brute force through it if I can.
Well, yeah. But the thing is, I always say in the game, but again, it's not just with us. I know this even from AAA because when they were talking about difficulty, they also mentioned the same. People just go with the defaults because they think it's the extended experience. But in this game, I really wanted people to customize it to their liking. But yeah, I know it's complicated.
I will
Yeah,
take
usually
your-
I always do. I just go with the default setting, normal experience,
Yeah.
normal difficulty setting, and then if I'm getting beat up pretty bad, I'll drop it down a little.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting being old, dude. Some of those action games they hurt my hands on the controller playing them. So
That's why in Liminal Point we need to make sure that the defaults are kind of more accessible.
Yeah.
Here's a question from one of our viewers. Valkyria Winner asks, what is your take on modding? Are you okay with modding on your games? And if so, would you allow it?
Yeah. A bunch of people already asked for Steam workshops and stuff. I haven't really looked into that, but when I see mods on Resident Evil and stuff, people playing and they change the models or they do some silly stuff, I think it's fun and
It's funny.
and it increases the game's longevity. So I have a positive view of modding.
Yeah, it's fun.
yeah, I'm on crap out
There
of
you go,
every
Valkyria
game just
Winner.
about I can play.
Bring on the anime model. Oh, wait, what?
Uh-oh.
No,
Typical Val.
man.
That was one of our biggest views. So yeah, now you're probably gonna be like, no, I'm pretty sure HideWorks is now saying, you know what, I changed my mind, no modding.
Lol.
I just think back to Half-Life 2 when it first came out. Before the workshop was really around, one of the biggest things that just flooded out was people modding Alex to be some sort of anime character. We had Hatsune Miku mods. It's just like people went to town on just making Alex everything but Alex. It's like, okay.
That's funny.
I see. I like some of the Resident Evil ones I saw that are really funny. Is like changing Mr. X by Shrek, or having him be like the choo choo
Speedo mod.
whatever.
That's funny.
Like the train, that train for little kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah.
I love
Thomas.
those.
And my favorite was the Speedo mod. That one was hilarious. Has like the umbrella logo on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny.
Thomas, when it comes to Thomas the Tank Engine, I do have them for the Skyrim mods, and like it's one of my must-haves for like I want to. Because and everyone will tell you this, like I'm pretty laid back when we're not doing interviews. I like to mess around, especially off stream. I like to joke around and have like some messed up jokes. But my Skyrim experiences, sometimes I want to have a realistic immersion experience for a Viking RPG, because that's what Skyrim is. And then other times I'm like, you know what? I want to have a fever dream Skyrim, and well, Thomas Tank Engine is one of them. Just because it, like you said, it adds to the longevity of the game. It adds to the player experience, and I'm grateful when developers like yourself allow me to add those mods in to where I don't have to worry about not throwing any shade here, because it's every EULA has this in there almost. But when they say you can't mod, and I'm like wondering, am I going to get my copy of the game removed from me because I have a mod when I'm streaming this game? It's like, I want to showcase this game, I want to play this game, have fun, but I want to keep it the longevity of it, as you said. I want to keep the longevity of it. So I think, you're probably going to have some people that are going to give you mods that you two are like, what the world? That's how we say. And then you're going to have people like, oh, we should, you know what? That's interesting. We should probably do that, because I mentioned this for one reason. Subnautica has a mod that changes the GUI, the game user interface, right? The GUI of Subnautica 1. That same GUI layout is in Subnautica 2, and it was from a mod. So I'm actually grateful that you're okay with that and with modding. So that's actually a plus. So there you go, people. if you want to mod your game, they're saying, yeah, go ahead, mod our game. We don't care. Just don't blame us for it if it breaks.
Lyra's voice is going to be replaced with the Arbiter from Devil.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, I know it's kind of hard because you never heard anybody say her name. It's actually Lyra.
Okay.
Ooh,
It's Lyra and Mira. Yeah, so it's Mira and Lyra.
Mira, okay.
Because a lot of people
is that
have
2 characters.
there's people reading it every different way, but I know Lyra's name has never been said out loud yet. But it's Lyra.
Well,
When
you
I
heard
was-
it here first, folks.
Yeah. When I was writing
And
my
clipped.
script, yeah. When I was writing the script, I must have done like 6 different takes of, because I'm looking at the script, I'm like, that's either Lyra or Lyra, and I just like flipped a coin, and I think I said Lyra at the time. It's been like a year, but yeah, I remember looking at it, it's like, how does that said? So, but good, okay, it's good to know.
All right, I think we're pretty much wrapping up. It's been an hour and a half, so we've been over schedule. I mean, unless you want to add more, unless you want to add more content to add. I can't even speak right now. My brain's starting to warp out. If you had anything else you felt like we didn't answer that you wanted to be addressed on the stream in regards to your game, feel free to let us know about it. But definitely, I want to say. Keep us in mind when you're having your milestones or you feel like you're not.
Yeah, absolutely.
We would definitely like to help you guys out, like not just you, but all indie developers.
Appreciate it. And yeah, if to everybody on the stream, if you guys haven't wishlisted the game on Steam, please do so, because the more wishlists we have, the more visibility we'll get on Steam. So our chances of success are definitely higher. So please do that, and we'll keep trying to do our best to make the best game possible. And apologies for the demo taking so long, but I wish it would have been easier and faster, but a lot of things came across the way, and that's the way.
Honestly, the fact that you are trying to make just the demo as good as you can makes me want to just step back and say, I don't want to push. I don't want to ask, because you have the perfectionist mindset that you don't want to just like throw a gift card out and say, oh, here you go. You want this to be good because you understand the demo is the first impression.
Yeah.
And you want the first impression to be good.
We want to make the demo like something really good, because people will stream it, people will play it, and having a bad demo could be the death of the game. So we really need to make sure that the demo is impeccable. But again, to another thing is that for having a demo that feels like it's, if we're going to be representative of the final game, you need to have pretty much all the systems of the game in place and polished already. So that's why demos are quite hard to do.
Yeah. Is there any sneak peeks that you can possibly share with us before we possibly head out?
So there's the new trailer coming on on the 1st of June. So that's definitely one. Oh yeah, so I still need to do an image, but we got the final model for the last member of the band, which is Axel. And we're gonna start looking for a voice actor for him.
Oh yeah, we're gonna post a casting.
Yeah.
So
So-
anybody can apply. You don't have to be a professional voice actor. You just need to
Sound good.
sound good. You just need to
Good
sound
acting and sound good.
good acting and good sound
and
good.
and
Yeah.
that it fits the character.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did some castings for the other characters before, and we're gonna do one for Axel soon.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
had good results. We found amazing actors to voice over the characters, and now the final character voice.
Yeah. Another sneak peek is that I'm not gonna. There's 2 enemies units that are so cool. I'm not gonna spoil it, but they're so cool. One is a boss, and another one is just an enemy. But they're so cool. I'm really.
Did you put them on the trailer or no?
No.
Oh, no.
Of course, they were not ready.
Mm.
So, but they're gonna be on the next trailer when the demo come out, and we do a little trailer for it. That's when they're gonna
Yeah,
be in.
we'll
But I'm excited to show to the world those 2. Those are gonna be really cool. Even I'm excited about those 2.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah, that's it.
Yep. That's
Thanks
it
thanks
now.
for inviting us. We really appreciate
Take
it.
it easy. Good luck. And that game's looking real promising. Right? I'm not a big
Yeah.
horror fan, like I said, but it looks pretty cool.
I'll definitely wish list. I wish you all both the best of luck with it and promoting it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
Then
Thank you so
yeah, we
much.
will keep you guys.
I can't wait to- I'm
informed
gonna-
about any
Yeah.
news in the game.
Mhm.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, I definitely, if I see this demo out, I'm definitely going to be streaming it.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I'll tell you guys right now. I actually saw the gameplay. I like it. I like what I see so far. And I just upgraded my PC, so I'm pretty sure I can play with the specs. So
Oh yeah, I mean
There's
we're
that.
trying to make the game run.
More accessible. Yeah.
In our min spec is the Steam Deck. So if your PC is something similar, it should run fine.
oh, yeah, that's actually surprising because I see a lot of I forgot that I even asked that part. I'm glad we brought it up before y'all left because I remember seeing a lot of companies, especially indie devs, they'll put the modern specs out. I'm like, well, what about the Steam Deck? What about people who can't afford things because of the current PC market happening right now? Well,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just
for
to keep it, just to skim that, right? So it's impressive to hear that y'all are considering more accessibility.
Yeah,
But,
so
yeah.
again, it was one of the reasons why we actually had to rebuild the game from the ground up. But there's the settings menu there's a lot of accessibility settings, there's a lot of graphical settings, there's a lot of control remapping. So it pretty much, in that sense, we're trying to make it feel as much as possible as a AAA title with all the options in place for people to be able to, I would not say maybe you can run the game if you have a toaster, but maybe you could try. So yeah, you're going to have a lot of settings to reduce the graphical quality and make the game run well, even if it's an older PC.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, thank you for coming, HideWorks. I hope we were what's the right word? I hope
Entertaining
I
enough?
hope your visit was I hope we were worth your time coming here. And
It was
saying
an awesome conversation. We had fun. We even overstayed.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
no, you didn't overstay. You're welcome. I just know that y'all have kids. I know how that's like.
Yeah, the
and,
kid is already here, so
Yeah,
I guess
so
it's
I guess
time
that's
to.
it.
It's the
All
game.
right.
Yeah. They finished the movie. They played. Now they're.
All right.
in the
Anyways,
session.
thank you for having us.
Take,
Thank you so much,
Bye.
guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming on our show.
yeah.
Thank you.
See y'all again sometime.
Have a good
Catch
evening.
you later.
Mhm.
You too.
Take it easy.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. So that was the HideWorks devs, and please give them some support. Like they mentioned, they're having some problems on X getting their things marketed, even though that the world is noticing. And it helps when there's supporters like yourself that want these type of games, share it out anyway. So go follow them. The links are in the descriptions. Go support them. Wishlist their stuff and keep an eye on it. Show them that you really want this game because, believe it or not, as a freelancer, I'll say this: there's a lot of indie devs that they'll, like even they said, they'll try to promote their game. They don't get any views, any engagement. Maybe you like it, but you keep scrolling like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to bookmark it or whatever, or I'm going to heart it. Well, actually share that thing. Put a comment. Ask questions. Show how excited you are because that helps the engagement. It's like when you talk in chat. If you talk in the chat and the content creators, or you send a like or even a dislike, that pushes us out into the algorithm. Yes, surprise. We don't just get your view hours. When you hit a dislike, it actually pushes that still out to the algorithm for everyone else. Maybe not for you or people like you. We're like, oh, this is not for this type of person, so we're going to recommend it to other people still that might like this. So because that's how the algorithm works. But yeah. Now we, for those who are coming, we have 124 viewers according to my DragonCast thing. That's actually impressive. We aren't actually done.
Nope.
Usually this is at the beginning of the stream. We have something called Dragon Bytes, and that's what usually gets turned to YouTube Shorts, and that's the short-term news that happens to show up that some people are talking about, some people don't. Plus games that you might not have heard of. So that's what's coming up. Garrett, are you ready to go for that one?
Yep, I already have the first one loaded.
Okay. Well, In that case, I'm going to pull up it on my end, and we're going to get right into. Actually, before I do, I promise this I won't forget. We're going to get into these super chat videos for everyone that super chatted. I want to get that done first. The first one is from the Saint of Gooning himself.
All hail the patron saint of gooning!
And Mikey Doucette, aka the Goon Room, has paid me $1 just to give me shit. So yeah, there's that. And then we have one from Sonia Lisette. Let's see which one we're going to give her. Actually, we'll do this one because I like this. Actually, no, we won't do that. Since Dash is back, we'll give her this one because she I'm pretty sure she likes Dash too.
To the radio station! Torches! Get your torches! Pitchforks! Can't be an angry mob without pitchforks! Cotton candy! Get your cotton candy! Can't throw right without cotton candy!
Sonia
makes me
Lisette for
hungry
$10. What games inspired Liminal Point? And if you're horror devs, what are your top 3 horror games? So thank you again for y'all super chats. Y'all did not have to do that. But yeah, we appreciate it. And now, the moment that everyone hopefully is staying on for, it's time for Okay, so we have a huge win for gamers. California has just passed AB 1921 to Protect Our Games Act, 43 to 16 votes. So that means 43 in favor, 16 no. And I think they're having an election year, so those 16 people that said no, maybe we can get 16 representatives that actually care about, customer rights and stuff. Just saying. But for context, it would force companies to give 60 days notice before shutting servers and offer offline mode. Community servers are refunds, so you can actually keep playing the games you bought. This is for games that come out after January 1st, 2027. It's not a law yet, but even Japan is, as you can see from here, GameSpark, is already reporting on it. I never thought I'd say this, but other states should take some notes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is the fact that like the refunds, ooh, that's gonna bite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like the mobile market is predominant in Japan, so of course, like a law like with a single market that could affect other Japanese companies, they're going to report it.
Yeah. But speaking of markets and stuff, we got some Valve news. Valve Steam Machine prices shock. Valve rumored Steam Machine, their bigger, more powerful handheld console hybrid, is now expected to launch over $1,000. Original intended price targets were much lower, between $600 and $800. The huge recent price hikes on the Steam Deck OLED with 512 gigabytes now is $789. 11 gigabytes, if I'm reading that right, is now $949. Are driven by the same RAM and compound shortages. I wrote this wrong. I'm reading my notes here. And those increases are directly pushing the Steam Machine into a much more expensive territory. This would put the Steam Machine in direct competition with full gaming PCs and high-end consoles. Despite that big price increase, one thing I did find out is that despite the big price increase from Ramageddon, that's what I found out people are calling it now, the Steam Deck OLED is selling out extremely fast. They're still selling.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised about that. But, that's what happens when you have a corporation that's more transparent than other corporations. I mean, it's still a corporation in the day, let's be honest. But, they kind of earn that shut up and take my money. But, yeah, look at that.
A little bit. Out of stock.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But while most people are complaining about, and we'll cover it here later, we're going to do this in reverse. Most people are covering First Light about, oh wow, this game is woke, this game is bad, blah blah blah. That you know what? To be fair, the guys already told you this.
That's
no. That's everybody. They're posting it all over line. What's happening with this game? But I'm saying, despite all that, do you all remember when they last week we mentioned they at the last second put the Nouveau in it? It's that time. Yes, 007 First Light, the big new James Bond game that launched May 27, 2026, had its de novo protection shattered in hours. IO Interactive added de novo just 6 days before launch, after pre-orders are already open for months. The Nouveau group dropped the crack on May 26th during early access, with some reports saying it lasted as little as 35 minutes. It failed to protect even the initial launch window, potentially costing the classic 20% first day sales protection. IO reportedly paid 1,040 euros for it. 140,000 euros for it. Let's hope they ask for a refund. Say it with me, everybody. Every de novo fails.
140,000. Yeah, there's got to be a penalty in the contract. There has to be that. Like, is just not talked about, because if you give that money and you don't get anything, like, someone's filing a lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like the software does not do what it's intended to do. So why do people keep adding it if it's like it's so like easy to like bypass?
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
And for people who are like, oh, who cares about de novo? Well, no one's talking about de novo, and they're saying someone needs to think about the devs. The devs need to get paid for their interest. We all agree out here on the panel. That's why we're covering it, because de novo, shocker, is a scam.
So, who else did you say commented about the game being like quote unquote woke?
A lot of people actually. The devs even themselves said it. You remember we covered it?
Oh yeah, they said it, but there were still people holding out that the game wasn't going to like. I haven't seen like any of the spoilers. I do know that like even if you succeed in a mission, you'll still get lectured by women.
Yep, there is that. But here, you know what's funny thing that now you bring that up, because 007, as you said way back when, I'm crediting you for this, Dash. 007 was the rogue of rogues, and when you have people that decide they want to do ideology over good games, like the as we had on earlier, we see Roma
Ardet knocked the heart.
Yes, so one of the things we're going to cover is First Light is so terrible, it isn't even a video game. It literally plays itself. Do not buy. This comes from Michael Does Life. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw this. I commented on this. Yeah, like people are saying he's using the accelerator still, so he's still technically pressing a button. But I don't know. There should be like some sort of fail safe. Like there should be some way to fail this segment, even if it's only 2% of the game.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point of games, is you have a risk and rewards and fail states. Like I talked about it when I covered the mixtape. I explained the like other people will talk about why it's not a game because this or the other thing. I actually went through the game design theory, because who better to talk about that than someone who's actually went to college to build games?
I remember seeing this video, and I watched it a couple times because I'm looking at this thinking, was this an this couldn't have been an accident that you have a garbage truck and the levels are just kind of so perfectly aligned. There's no 90-degree turn you have to, like that. You don't do, that's a cutscene right there. Like, yeah. Was that intentional? Did no one raise their hand in the meetings and say, excuse me, boss? Question? Like, did no one?
Probably not. But, Lord Dragon, just to let you know, fun fact, when you have a de novo DRM In order to play your game that you have to be online. That's why it's there to where you're not able to play it without internet.
But no, like even console, Wizard saying he couldn't play his copy.
Well, he has PS5, right?
Yeah, the DRM.
And what does PS5 have?
DRM.
DRM. We covered that earlier this year.
Yep. That's why, like, why I got Mina on Switch too. Even though Switch has a lighter DRM, but that's mostly just to make sure to prevent piracy. With like this exploit that was people would use multiple Switches and family sharing to get like tons of games, and I think that's what it's for. But other than that, like I think like if you I don't know. Gaming used to be so much simpler.
Yep. But speaking of DRMs, because we're back on that again, the original PC gamers are pirates devs are back at it again. So, Ubisoft just got absolutely cooked by Daniel Vavra. Say what you will about the guy, right? But he states, and I quote here, Ubisoft has 16,600 employees after layoffs. Oops, that's about 70 Warhorse-sized studios. That could be 10 KCD2-sized games, each developed for 7 years, released every single year. Meanwhile, 10K invested 5 years ago is now worth $50. But hey, I guess owning the chuds is worth it. Better get used to not having a studio soon. Pete, AAA.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, well, he said the first part in the quotes. Ubisoft has 16 employees after layoffs. Oops. Every single year. The rest of it, I added the stocks to it because I was trying to cover. I'm trying to cover the Dragon Quest without having too many of the same thing at once.
Yeah, because I didn't think he said like owning the chuds because he's tried to distance himself from anti-SJWism.
I think he's distancing himself from everybody.
True.
But to be fair, he's like, I don't want to deal with. It's kind of, and the reason I'm saying is because I kind of sympathize with him. Like he got, remember KCD1, he got roasted by the journalists. He still has to work with them, but he doesn't like dealing with a lot of it. And then you have, and to be fair, that's I know you like the guy. You have a Demion who said, "Oh, this game is woke," because he said this game's not a Christian game. After Demion said it was a Christian game, and when you actually study Bohemia's history, it's more of a historical game than a Christian game because during that time period, the Protestants and Christians were attacking each other. So there's
it was always a historical game.
Yeah.
It just happened to predominantly feature religion because that the time, it is a medieval game. Of course, like everyone is going to be predominantly Christian.
Yeah. But anyways, like I said, say what you will, but I think he's not good at PR. Let's just put.
Oh, definitely
he's
not good at
he's
PR.
good at making games. You can hate him for what he said. That's fine. You can't say that he didn't make a good game. It was a niche game that got popular, and when people played, they're like, "Oh, I don't like this because I don't like the combat."
I really wasn't into the combat, but like he made something no one else was making, and that was like an RPG set in a historical setting.
Mm-hmm.
No magic, none.
Exactly. But moving on, unless anyone else want to add to that, Okay, moving on. We got Bucky from Pal World roasting journalists. That's not it.
It's the link that you had.
Oh, I lost it. Oh shit. Okay. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Hold on, guys.
Bucky is alive. That's all we need to know. Wait, wrong Bucky.
You talking about Marvel?
Yeah, it just Bucky is alive.
Oh, someone didn't like that. Okay. Let's see. Try to see if I can find it because I posted it earlier today. Nope. It's not in here. Okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, basically for those who want to know, Paul Tassi, he posted his Steam collection uncategorized, saying that Power's gonna be on the top of his uncategorized, And Bucky goes, 95 games. Surely you have more. Then he goes, Paul Tassi goes, he retorts by saying, I actually have 12 consoles and I play every one of them. And he goes, how many games on a KFC consoles? And then shows his actual Steam account showing over 600 games with 90% of them played. So
Talk about
you know,
this.
my boy Paul, he just can't seem to get a win, even from death. That's the one. Yes. Yes, I made a
This
post
was a
on
Power
that.
World dev that said this.
Yeah, Bucky. That's Bucky right there. He's one of the devs. Like, click his account. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I see
publishing
the
and
I see the Power World affiliation sticker.
Yeah. He also was the one that the journalists got mad at because he said we only look at gamers and their Steam profiles to see if they're a good fit for our company.
Lol.
Yeah.
What?
How dare you hire gamers? How dare you hire gamers? Don't you? You gotta hire non-gamers and make like teenage coming of age stories, like mixtape where you yell at your father.
I know he's trying to showcase his collection, but I like how he has it all closed out, so we can't tell if they're visual novels or not. But scroll back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the show replies.
Oh,
That's the one right there. That's his account. I'm gonna open the book and he retweets his post saying, "I'm no coward." Now click on that. Look how many games he has.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
27,000 hours.
yeah. He's addicted to video games.
Oh, there's is that the yen amount?
Yeah, he's Japanese, or he's at least in Japan. I don't.
See, 1.5 million yen. That's at least 500,000
Yeah.
or more, like maybe 750,000.
If anyone's going to accuse Bucky of not being a gamer, they need to see this first before they open their mouth. I'm pretty sure playing that. I'm a gamer and I don't even have that percentage on my Steam account.
Level 67, 16.2 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, we have an actual dev who's an actual gamer.
Those are rookie.
He just stole the show on Paul Tassi's own tweet.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's quite. Oh yes, the Brittany. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's Paul Tassi. Should we be surprised?
No, like I said, he's my boy. Like he fought me a while back during Black Myth Wukong, and he's like, "Who are you?"
He
And
blocked
I
my
told
old
him.
account.
I was like, and that's the time I didn't even have 100 subs yet on YouTube. And so I was like, after we got into a fight and he said something, I forget what it was. My last response to him was, "Okay, you're my boy now," and I just started calling him, "Here's my boy Tassi."
Damn. I bet he big mad.
But to make things more interesting, you had a special treat with the devs, and you had to follow Rome and the Nouveau fails. But, we just like to keep giving and giving and giving. So enjoy being a fatty because it's time for...
Carrot cake!
All right. So this is from the devs of Tower of Calamnovo. It's not a game yet. He's just showcasing what he said, but look what he has here, right? Come to just drop the hottest shopkeeper demo ever. Meet your favorite white-haired glasses waifu, thick, sassy, and hyping up shotguns, mobile chainsaws, flamethrowers, miniguns, and grenades with perfect jiggle physics while hitting you with literally what you're buying. Pure, concentrated goon or bliss, and ridiculously good shop vibes. But if you want this kind of game, and people are actually talking about, if you want this kind of game, you should support the devs. And I would be a hypocrite since he doesn't have the game out yet, or a Steam page or anything, if I didn't at least give y'all the devs page to go follow.
Do it.
Yeah. So it should be showing up on It's not showing up on YouTube. Why is it? What's going on?
I see you highlighting it in the chat.
Oh, there it goes.
But
Okay,
yeah,
it is
that's-
showing up on YouTube. It's just not showing up here. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's showing up now. Yeah. All right. Moz, if you're able to do that for me, it's on the list. I actually have them listed in order of appearance. So, but you know, if that doesn't get you going, maybe you're looking for something more derpy and you got bummed out, you know, and you're looking for something because, you know, Fable got delayed. While Fable is delayed till next year and shame over their derpy characters, a self-described Temu Fable luminary has you covered. This cheeky open-world co-op ARPG lets you create stunning physics-based fantasy waifus with customizable races, hairstyles, and outfits that show off the goods. Then dives into real combat, climbing, gliding, demon doors, and evil cosmetics. They actually said that they actually will have, like, right there, see? Character cosmetic changes from evil, unlike Fable, right? That makes your character uglier with the more corrupt you get. There's a free demo live on Steam right now. Early access this summer. Budget Fable done right. Way better character design. So
That's always impressive when your character changes, like physically changes, depending on the path that you take. Because that's a lot of it's a lot of like little iterations. There's a lot to it, but if you do it right, damn, like it matters.
oh,
I
also
don't
for
care if
people
they
who
do it
don't,
right or not. I don't like that shit.
yeah,
No, I thought this was a great own. We talked about this on my show, and I talked about how hyped you guys have all been for this game and how closely you've been following it. Me, I'm not really into the crafting sim like type of thing, but honestly, the fact that they're like trying to like fill into a market like after Fable pulled out, and you know, correcting the mistakes with the good and evil system,
Yeah.
I think that's a big win for indie.
yeah. I'm also going to point this. These are also the same devs that we covered last week's Dragon Bytes that had the Hall of Heroes thing, saying if you're going to get the game, they want to put your name in the Hall of Heroes for the game. These are the same devs. These are also the same devs. When I first played the game, it was not running very well for me, right? And I mentioned that in my negative review. These guys didn't come by and say, "Oh, you're alt-right, self-sexist, chud," whatever. No, they actually worked with me. They actually said they were making some updates. They showed me some secret views. We've been in contact in DM since, right? So I actually have a DM. I'm trying to get them on, but they're focusing on their game right now. So I haven't pushed it since February. I offered, but I'm trying to see if I can get them on right before launch or even during launch day, so we could talk to them about it, or like the Saturday before launch. So Chaos Keith. But yeah, go get some Luminary, guys. But if this cozy looking, they're designing to be like fit everybody, but also family friendly. So yeah, you have some skippy outfits and stuff, but safe for kids as well. That's one thing I'm gonna point out. But if this is too cutesy, it's just too bright, you want something more dark and dreary, something that has more annihilation. Well, the tides are coming. Tides of annihilation. Yeah. Just dropped the most elegant library sorcerers yet. This stunning purple gown of beauty gracefully floats cursed tones for a haunting library, whispering, "Books do not merely record what is known. Sometimes they warn of what comes next." Like 18 years of child support. Pure dark fantasy atmosphere and mesmerizing character design. First hands-on event arrives this summer. Wishlist immediately.
Now, is this the King Arthur game? Yes. Yes, it is.
That's the one.
Really sick. And like, oh, and I wonder if the journalists will say, "Oh, you don't want to play games with women." Oh, here's a game with a
look
woman.
at her outfit. This is why. Look at her outfit. This is why I chose it for Gamercade.
Jennifer English, the voice actor or the protagonist.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either, but that's why the journals will support it because she's woke as hell.
Well, they support it because like she's a proud lesbian, and you know she wears the identity stuff right there. I mean, and that's why she got hired for that other game. But honestly, she's Shadowheart. She did a great job in Odyssey. Expedition 33. I mean, like, no, she's been a voice actress for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I really do not give a shit about her
I'm telling you
politics.
I'm telling you, the journals will support it because of her politics.
Maybe, perhaps,
As
but
long as she
I
does a
don't think
good
that'll
job,
affect the game.
Yeah, as long as she does a good job at her job, I may not agree with her politics or her takes, right? But as long as she does a good job and the game is good, right? I'm not really caring too much. Like, for example, what's her name? She was the actress for Ghost of Yote. Before,
She's completely different. She is like way worse than Jennifer English.
Yeah,
Erica,
well, people
you
kept
see-
bringing up the I am Antifa clip that was like years back, and my thing was, okay, yeah, she can have her thing. Is she running around breaking things? No. Is she running around bashing her at the time? Because I looked at her tweet.
Oh no, she was running around Disney World waving pride flags. Like,
Yeah.
the girl's off her rocker, in my opinion.
So,
So,
like this would be what I'm trying to say is, for clarification, this was before she started doing all that. When I was cut, or when I.
when
it
it was first announced it was a girl, I wanted to give Sony the benefit of the doubt because they fucking earned it with Ghost of Tsushima. And then we found out like who they made the face of the game, and we found out like she's just this, someone who was like on a few episodes of Critical Role, pronouns like, activist up the wazoo. She had preemptively blocked people before the game even got announced.
Yeah, that is fair. But I'm gonna say even Master of the TDS, when it came out that she was the actress, like even Master of the TDS was saying, I'm still gonna give them a benefit of the doubt, which I agreed on. It wasn't until the incident, which we're not gonna mention because
Oh yes, of course.
when that came out, that's when a lot of people were saying, okay, yeah, now we're done. And I didn't even bother getting Ghost of Tsushima. I wanted to get the game. I had it on my wish list. After I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna support this until there's an apology. And they waited a week or two for the apology. But still,
Well, it wasn't.
my point is,
saying
it's
like they basically had one guy saying, we don't support that. But it was like too little, too late, really.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing was bad. Meanwhile, like, I am absolutely certain Square Enix fired a bunch of people quietly behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure too. But like I said, I believe that you can have your beliefs as long as you make a good game. I will buy the game. But the moment you start doing things I believe is wrong, like not just morally wrong but legally wrong, then we have a problem. Or if you start making your game where you're talking down to me, then I'm like, yeah, we're not playing this. But you know what I would consider playing? I would consider playing a game with a nun in it. Sinistar 2.
Oh yeah, Sinistar 2.
The Japanese publisher's site completely crashed for the insane flood of players downloading the NSFW patch. Take that, collective shout. For this sexy non-pixel art Metroidvania, which, I know you like Metroidvania, Stash. I don't know how you feel about the nuns part, because you're Catholic.
The nuns are iffy. I do know that it's non-pornographic on the Steam version, so apparently you do have to patch it, because I was wondering, like, people were saying it was a hentai game, yet it wasn't listed as adult on the official page. So is the main character like actually a nun though?
I don't know. I haven't played the game. I just found this interesting.
Yeah, I do know that the monsters hug her very tightly and they like grabbing her a lot.
Well, I see that a lot of that. Symbol of holiness. It's going to. It's a symbol. They want to get that holiness, right? You know how big long arms are about things, all things holy. They want to be holy themselves.
Yeah, I know. I am a degenerate, but I respect the cloth. I respect nuns.
That's fine.
And they're, it's why I didn't. It's why I didn't join the clergy myself, because I knew I could not live up to those expectations.
Yeah. Anyways, continuing on with the Sinistar, stunning white-haired nun is dangerously revealing habits, gracefully fighting through dark, gory dungeons. Meanwhile, the tiny indie completely mogged the big-budget indie plant mixtape on Steam with 1.6 thousand concurrent players versus 195. Beautiful character design, real gameplay wins again. Grab the game and a patch. You already know why. And no, we're not showing sharing the patch YouTube because we know about NSFW rules. But the Steam power here, the Steam store link here, has the safer work. You guys can figure out and do the math or how to get the patch. Yes.
Repent. It should have said the end is rear, but
yeah, should have.
Yeah.
But if nuns aren't your thing, how about sexy priestesses and mages, an RPG about coding? Alchemeth is a one-pit pixel dungeon RPG with Yuzo Koshiro's synths by I didn't write the thing here in the notes, but that's the devs, by the way. You connect nodes and visually program your golem army to hack, explore, and fully automate dungeon runs, then refine your logic through pure trial and error until it's flawless, all with a sexy witch and priestess among your party. Programming has never looked this dangerously good.
I do
consider
love me
it
my
a
nice
decent
anime
wishlist.
priestesses.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can you zoom in on the picture? This is a screenshot of the game. See, on the one side you have the programming nodes, but look at the mage and the priestess.
Yeah.
Right. It's like good old fashioned RPG. Like that reminds me of like late 80s, early 90s design aesthetics.
yeah, that looks like back before they could actually, like, I guess, make better models. That's the sort of animation that, like, the GIF or the motion would come down, and that's what would be in the chat. the character talking is that.
Yeah.
But now we have it as the actual character, which is very cool.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was clever though, because think about it. You're doing a JRPG, right? But the mechanics are based on computer programming.
Yeah, that's real wild.
And if you're like Dash, who's just turned 21, young and hasn't gone to college yet and all that stuff, right? And you want to go for computer science, but you
18.
didn't pay attention. You didn't pay attention, right? This is the game for you, right? Horny young man, want to do computer programming. This is like the nerdiest of nerd RPGs. That's all I'm going to say about that. I found the concept of it, like, even if they didn't have these characters in it, the concept of computer programming JRPG, even if it's going to be bad, I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I'm just saying this is actually an interesting concept that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to at least try it.
Program your way to success
with cute waifus by your side. But I wonder if maybe I misread it when I saw it. What if these are the golems? So what if you're programming these characters to auto run the dungeon and you're just watching it happen? Is that the case? Or is the wokies and anti-wokies going to have a problem with you actually programming women to fight as a male? Because
would they be able to see that?
Audience.
Would they be able to see that deep into the game, though?
There's
some of them are pretty damn shallow when it comes to thought process.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of shallow thought process, Dash, we got some news for you, a Nintendo fan. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop just dropped its Nintendo Switch edition today, now running at higher resolution, higher frame rate, with way smoother zombie slice. Wait.
Hang on, it's not. It's the same one. Oh, you didn't get it to me.
Oh, but I did see that the Switch 2 version of the game came out, and that's nice that, you know, they were able to get like the better graphics version. I got it for PC.
Oh, you're gonna like it then because they have something exclusive that's not on Steam. What that is? You said you got.
God,
I thought I put it in there. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, there's that, right? So yeah, I'll just read it over again for the edits. Lollipop Chainsaw Reboot just dropped its Nintendo Switch edition today, now running at high resolution and higher frame rate with Face Mover zombie slicing action. After you beat the story, you unlock a brand new shooting mode exclusive to Switch 2. Sexy cheerleader chainsaw action never looked or played better on the big screen. Launch sale is live until June 18th. Go get it. That's the Nintendo Switch link. And yeah.
People
So
are
then we also
very
have the Steam
excited
link
about
as
this.
well. So I'm going to share the Steam link real quick. Oh, no. I accidentally did that. Okay. Copy that. Put it in here. And we also have to acknowledge that Scene, a subscriber for 9 months, one of my first subscribers, next to Sonia Lisette, says Bob's. You misspelled Bob.
It's a lot of Bobs.
Let me see. Hold on. This thing's not letting me. Come on. Where's it? Well, we'll give you a video. Let's see. What says Bob's here? What says Bob's? I'm not going to do the long one. How about this one?
Yes.
And yeah, that concludes our. I can.
I don't think we can read that one.
I can show that. I'm not even going to try it. I'm just going to say.
Theory has failed.
I'll just give them something. Hold on. Thank you, Scene, for your donation, and see you next Tuesday.
Yeah,
But
because
with-
of you, Scene, they're going to fix that.
Yeah. The QA testers are already just jotting notes down with their crayon while they're eating them.
Yep. But also, people don't realize Scene is a programmer and he's a pervy old British man, so that's why he needs to repent. But with that concluding our gamer cake, it's time for.
They're on their way. They achieve greatness. Players massing, sales climbing, legends are rising. The gaming milestones.
Yes, the gaming milestones, where we acknowledge every milestone from sales to Wishlist to gamers helping their community and gamers' achievements that should be celebrated. This is the gaming milestones. Mina the Hollower from Yacht Club Games, the studio behind Shovel Knight, has sold around 55,000 copies on Steam shortly after launch. Console sales figures are not yet available. Co-founder Sean Velasco has really high expectations. He stated, "If we don't sell 1 million copies, I'm going to be disappointed." The game is priced at $20, and you can get it on Steam.
Yep, I got the Switch 2 version, was playing it last night, was not expecting it to have Souls-like mechanics. You know, I thought it was just going to be a straight down Zelda meets Castlevania type of game. But yeah.
Hold up. For $20, you're telling me for $20, this game actually has actual gameplay?
Yep, it has actual gameplay.
Just the fact they have Souls-like, at least Souls-like mechanics means they have actually more mechanics, at least one more mechanic than a mixtape.
Oh yeah, like, you know, Smash JT was getting really worried when this game got all 10s, because they thought, like, oh no, this means it's mixtape or it's kind of all woke. And while I did find one character that could be considered a checkbox, I don't think the game is like really like woke compared to like mixtape. I mean, like, it's a very well crafted game. A lot of people are actually complaining, but there's actually a lot of difficulty modifiers where you can make the game easier or harder. Like, there's a ton of like things you can do. I think it has built-in achievement system, which for Switch 2 is really good because we don't have native achievements on that platform. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this game a long time. It was supposed to come out on Halloween. It got delayed massively to this spring. I'm excited. More people need to really know, because this is from Yacht Club, the people who did make Shovel Knight, and they made Shovel Knight again. Then they made Shovel Knight with Battletoads on the Xbox, and then they re-released Shovel Knight a couple of more times. But now they finally released a new original game.
Yeah, and going on to the woke thing, I'm gonna have to let you people know because some people are going to need a shock buffer because it's going to trigger them. Yes, you can go ahead and say I'm woke now. I don't give a shit. But there's a difference between a game that is woke versus a game that people want to make. Like, if you're going to say a game is woke because it has LGBT or something like that, then you're going to have to admit that Dragon Age, not Veilguard, just the original trilogy and Mass Effect trilogy are woke too, because they had LGBT characters as well.
True.
And then you can go into Saints Row 2, because in Saints Row,
Phillips in the chat. You can make
hold on,
now.
I gotta fix your thing because I fucked up. That's why I couldn't find you.
Oh, that car mini game. That fucking car mini game was so hard. I need to find a way to fix. But yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. I hope I didn't cut you off too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do this. If I don't, I will forget. Philip Morgan, you're back as a mod. I do apologize. I accidentally removed you. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, like, if you're gonna say it's woke because of LGBT or pronouns, whatever, right? Then, and you have to admit Dragon Age. And if you're saying you admit that Dragon Age is woke as well, the original trilogies, right? Then you have to admit that Saints Row 2 is woke because it has the first trans character, because in canon, in Saints Row 1, you're a male gangster. And then you come back, you get surgery, and you have the option of male-female. So technically, by the canon, you're trans, so therefore, Saints Row 2 is woke. And if you're saying, yes, exactly, that's all woke, then you're going to have to agree that you're a grifter like John Del Rose. You're not a real player. I'm sorry. You're just here for politics. And if you're saying that's going too far, well, let me remind you, John Del Rose also believes that.
I mean, think of how much work went into making this game, all the sprite work, all the programming, and they're only charging $20 for it. Yeah. I mean, this is a ton of gameplay. It's really difficult. It
looks fun.
Oh, well, I have not even gotten to most of this shit. I'm still very, very early on in the game because of how hard it is.
I wanted to pause here because I was watching. I'm always impressed with train scenes, but there's a shot. Let's count the layers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's so many layers in this one shot, and they're all moving at different speeds. You're not slapping that shit together in 5 minutes, people. Not at all.
No.
That is impressive.
Well, we just mentioned that the Liminal Point and the details are with the devils in the details. They have asset flips in there as well because they're indie devs. They can't afford to model every fucking thing.
Yeah, Yacht Club is also an indie dev, but they made a shit ton of money, enough money. They even got Shovel Knight as an assist trophy in Smash Brothers. That's how recognized Shovel Knight is as a
wow.
This was this game made them a shit ton of money, and I really want
someone to get the Steam, at least one of the Shovel Knights on Steam and put in the link since we're mentioning it, please. That Crimson Necrodancer is frustrating, but it is fun.
Oh, I didn't know they made that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's publisher. I think it goes by Steam. Doesn't really go by devs; they go by publisher.
Looks like an old game called Road Rash. Came out on a Panasonic 3DO years and years ago. I used to love Road Rash. That's where that song Road Rash comes from.
Yeah, they did not make that game. They made Shovel Knight. They might have made the Necrodancer. I don't know. I don't think they definitely did not make Bloodstained. See, it's a publisher thing.
Yeah, it's publishers. All right, but since we've
it's on
everybody,
sale, by the way, if anyone's looking.
Yeah. Anyways, going into it, since we braced everyone, if you think that's woke, well, consider this. Paralyzed just smashed a massive launch. 250,000 copies sold in only 8 hours on Steam Early Access. Despite pre-launch accusations of being woke over inclusive options, the game is sitting at a very positive reviews with strong player numbers. There are no reports or reviews that I've read so far of forced lectures, identity mechanics, and gameplay or story outside its optional character creation and decoration tools. Gridless building, deep customization, open world life sim done right by a tiny indie team.
Yeah, I think the only woke accusations I heard about Subnautica 2 was that
No, that's
you
not
kill.
it. That's not
This
it.
is what's this. I'm looking here.
Paralyzed.
This is a Subnautica.
This is Subnautica 2.
Yeah, I got the. God damn it!
This is
Well,
what
this.
you wanted. It was flipped.
It was flipped. Okay, so the outer one's supposed to be the next one, which is
Yeah.
Subnautica 1. But we'll get to that later. So yeah, Paralyzed just smashed a launch of 25 copies. Get it now. You'll love it. Here it is. But yeah, I'll just fix that edit later.
I have something to say about Paralyzed, and this is kind of what caused me to bring it in. I don't know if it was already part of your notes, but I saw some discussion about Paralyzed, and this is one of those discussions that someone made this snarky remark saying, "Look, wake up, honey! The new industry plant has dropped," and it was the day that this game came out, which was the 25th. It already had 1,500 positive, like either positive or very positive reviews. And the discussion was that because nobody knew about this game, the assumption was that, and I say nobody in quotes, the assumption is that, yeah, this was an industry plan and that all of this shit was fake. I mentioned it to Hotaru because she saw my face as I was looking on my phone, confused. She's like, what are you talking about? And so I mentioned Paralyzed. She knew what it was. The entire cozy scene has known about this game's existence for like 7 years.
Hey, yeah, Cozy's a different market, just like sports games.
Well, here's the other thing I want to point out is like if you separate yourself from separate politics from games, right? Like I've done myself personally. This is from a personal experience. You're gonna realize that when it comes to politics and tribalism and people who just want to be angry rage baiters, they're gonna do this mantra of correlation is causation. All right. If Mixtape 2 is an industry plant, then this other thing that has things I don't agree with, it has things like lesbian, gay stuff. Which, by the way, shocker, there are lesbians and gays on the right too. The gays versus groomers. All right. Shocking. I know something about politics. Shocker. But here's the thing. Gamers for decades knew what psychologicalists and scientists confirmed. Correlation is not causation. Just because there's a gun in the game, just because you blow up a massive amount of people in the video game in Minecraft, right? Just because it has a pride flag or facial piercings or this or that in the thing, doesn't mean it's woke. All right? For it to be woke, it is propaganda over gameplay. This is a cozy life sim game, which means it would make more sense for there to be pride flags, facial piercings, different hairstyles. The game has breast sliders, for crying out loud. The game has
then it
breast
can't
sliders.
be woke.
Yeah.
You have all the pride flags they want. Like, give me the booba.
Yeah. So my point is, right, is that you need to look beyond it. This is gonna sound kind of crazy, but I have a 30-minute video coming out I mentioned earlier in the stream about Subnautica 2 and no weapons equals woke game argument that's been going around. That people have been, patting themselves on the back on both content creator and journalist side. And I'm about to break some feels because I'm about to expose some people who never played the game, even though I haven't played it all the time. I played Subnautica 1 December of last year. I haven't finished it yet. I played Subnautica 2, completed the story. I went through the entire lore, researched everything. That's why I didn't have any videos out other than the shorts. Because I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to accuse the game of something, I'm going to be damn right about it. I think my audience is owed that. I think everyone is owed the truth to the best of my abilities. I'm not going to just sit there and read an article or react to another video based on this person that's a bigger streamer than I is saying the same thing, so I'm going to imitate that so I can get the rage bait views. No, if I had to fight the algorithm, well, I have a surprise for you. I've been fighting the algorithm for 2 fucking years, and I can piss people off without even trying. And all I have to do is just say the fucking truth, call it as I see it. So, Paralyzed, I'm going to say, and I see your things to scene, give me a moment. Paralyzed, I was not really going to get the game, but I'm going to get the game out of spite. Because someone says it's woke, and I was like, there's still wokeness here. Just like how we used to do when people were trying to fight against the woke slop, and people would just buy the game out of spite of the people saying, don't buy this game.
I swear, as when people find that gay character in Mina, they are going to do the John Del Rose.
Oh yeah. This is why I don't take sides in politics. I'm like, yeah, I have my political things off camera.
It's literally like just go find the guy's guy. Like, it's just a missing persons quest. It's really like it has nothing to do. Like, you still have to fix the generators. You still have to fight monsters. Like, honestly, I'm just getting massive Shovel Knight nostalgia playing Mina.
Yep. And we got 2 super chats we're going to go address right now. So we'll get this one, an oldie but goodie, for $2.
Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book!
I hear cozy is Hypno's favorite word. And then for another 2 British pesos, and this was paid in Venezuelan bolivar. Same thing. Okay, fine. I'll do it again. I know you like it.
Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book!
It's one of my earliest videos.
Can I say that at the very end, when it goes to cut off the last, it sounds like he's saying "buy my butt."
Yeah, I mean,
that's
he
what
is
I
a
hear.
furry.
Well, I mean, he does want a piece of that Lucario ass.
Yeah.
Oof.
But that being said, let's go into a game that's making another milestone comeback that was made in 2018. Shocker.
This is Subnautica again.
No, that's not the one. How did I mess this up?
Damn.
Is it supposed to be The Witcher?
No, I'm gonna look too. So basically, Subnautica 1 broke its own milestone.
Oh, people going back and playing.
Here we go.
Yes. So, anyways, Subnautica 2 had a massive 1 million in revenue its first week. No, that's not it. Subnautica, the original 2018 classic, just broke its all-time Steam record with over 50,000 concurrent players, the highest peaks in its entire history. Thanks to the massive hype and launch of Subnautica 2, the beloved underwater survival masterpiece is experiencing a huge resurgence, pulling in waves of new and returning players who can't get enough of the deep-sea terror and wonder. Still, one of the best survival games ever made, in my personal opinion. But part of that is, I'm going to point out, is you can get the bundle that has all 3 games, which is, I think, what people are doing. It was still a good deal at launch. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah.
Definitely play the first one. If you haven't here's another thing. If you haven't updated your hardware, like I have a COVID era laptop, Subnautica 1 is perfectly fine if you haven't played it. It's a great story. It doesn't matter that it came out in 2018. It is a great story. You're going to spend some time learning the entire world of it. It's a good one.
I'm just going to let y'all know, yes, you've probably heard there's a knife and there's weapons. I'm going to let you know the game actually punishes you for fighting when you should be fleeing. That's the whole point of the game, is to flee, not fight.
Yeah, you can charge after the big monster. It's not going to be a good outcome. You're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, let me put it this way: as someone who plays TTRPGs, I've seen this a lot, and I actually was. And when I first started, I was dumb enough for this too. Seeing the dragon in Dungeons and Dragons, you're a level 1 character, and I use this now as my thing when people think they can own me and roast me. Right? You have level 1 equipment you're a noob, level 1, right? And you see the dragon, you're like, I can take this dragon, hiya, 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 hiya. And the dragon just doesn't, it looks at you like, you're not even hurting me, and it just burns you to death, right? That's the same concept with Subnauticus mechanics. Is that these monsters, leviathans, a lot of these fish, are more powerful than you, and it sucks. But the corpos that sponsored your trip are the ones that handcuffed you, and you don't have access to a lot of things. And the stuff that you do have doesn't do a lot of damage. It's not a power fantasy. It's a horror survival with bright colors.
Yep.
Still a fun game. I like it. That I got a sub. But do you know what else I like about Subnautica? The sequel. Gamer win, corporate L. Subnautica 2 is hits a massive $2 million in revenue in its first week of early access. Over 4 million copies licensed, not sold. We're correcting this, licensed according to 30 year law. This directly triggered a full $250 million payout to the original Unknown Worlds team. Cranston tried to dodge by firing the studio's key people, even using ChatGPT to plan it. Got sued, and a court ordered them to pay plus reinstate the CEO. Now the strong launch has triggered the full bonus anyways. Karma's expensive.
Yeah. That's the lessons learned call is not going to be great for that. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that one.
Oh, I want someone to have like the camera in their pocket, like their phone camera in their pocket, and live stream it. So I could just sit there. I will like it all day. I will sit there. I won't like any video. I'll just sit there and watch it. And be like, how can I make content from this? Because this is beautiful.
You know how easy it is, actually? You go on Temu, you can get pen-sized cameras, shove a 512 gig SD card in there, and just plop that sucker right in your lapel pocket or whatever, hit record, and then just capture everything. It's so easy these days.
Exactly. But we also had some more news for more milestones, actually. Yeah, they're technically remakes, but and they had dragons, but it's Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, the remakes have topped 4 million sales worldwide. Square Enix's gorgeously pixel art trilogy continues its massive success, proving that classics in the beautiful HD 2D style are still absolute gold. Huge win for the Dragon Quest legacy. And
Square Enix is making kind of a lot of comebacks lately with their restructuring.
Yeah, I hope the restructuring includes removing their HR department or whoever it was that was saying, "Yeah, you should make things woke." Oh, thanks, Alan. Thanks. But yeah, we got the links in the chat. Mikey was actually getting this game. I hadn't decided yet. Is on my wish list, but last time I covered it, they were making some censorship things. I was like, well,
yeah, I'm sticking to the
that alone won't make me. Yeah, that alone won't make me like not get it, right? But I was like, I want to see what is they're censoring out. What else are they censoring?
Yeah,
and so far from when I watched Mikey's gameplay, it's actually still faithful to the original.
Yeah, I'm playing the 2019 version, which does have it doesn't have like a lot of the changes that were made, but like it also doesn't have the nicer graphics.
Yeah.
In fact, I should probably continue playing that. I got to like the second half. I'm sorry. I keep trying to talk, but yeah, I should probably try and play that again.
That's okay. I just wanted. I thought you were done. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Like so. Like
right, I just validated the next one. Karis is actually good.
Yeah. Are we? Is there a delay again? Okay.
There might be a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're having a delay.
Yeah. So,
okay. Thanks, Sonia. You have a good night.
Okay. So, okay. Talking. Yeah, I own the originals, not the HD remakes, and I think I'm going to stick with that.
That's fair. But you know what else is out there that's great for the gaming milestone within our community? Big shout out to Indie Game Joe, absolute legend of the indie scene. When a gamer's Steam Deck accidentally got destroyed, Joe offered to buy them a new one. A single kind act went viral, reminding us the small good deeds in the community go a long way. Respect. He actually liked this. But go ahead, show them the picture. That's a screenshot of what happened. So he had his own damage, right? But look at the bottom. Love to buy you a new one. You freaking kidding, dude? And he says, no, I want to do it. He made someone's day. I think that's deserves a milestone recognition. You know, gamers helping gamers in the community.
This is something I've thought about doing. I think we've talked about before, where I set up something where someone goes through a really unfortunate situation, and we have the resources available, and we get them something.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to plan it, but yeah, I like what Joe's doing here. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I like, for people who don't know, I actually get a lot of my indie update news that we use on Dragon Bytes from people like Indie Joe. And when I was searching for news to cover, as a plan B in case things went south, this popped up as one of my search things. And I was like, well, let's go look at this real quick. It's from a Reddit, okay? But this actually happened. So, shout out to Indie Game Joe. Keep recommending good games that I can recommend everywhere else. It helps me streamline my process. But that being said, we have some... that's it for the gaming milestones, but we have some gaming updates, some patches, and stuff like that for everyone else. Some familiar, some not so familiar. Some we covered, and some not so, including Hopping Dragons. Dragon Hop Patch 105 is live with new music, Steam Deck resolution, movement jumping improvements, and other fixes. And the reason I bring this is the dev that tried to get his game out there, right? And all he asked was he only had 3 reviews and 1 more reviews, right? The game is $5. I played it. Pretty good game. Since I played it, that wasn't that long ago. It was like a week or 2 ago, right? He's already put out 5 update. I'm probably exaggerating here, but more than 1. There's been at least 5 update patches. He's constantly updating this game. It's fun. Some people say, oh, it's an asset flip, but the asset flips fit a theme. He doesn't just use the assets and they're like, I'm going to do this. No, the game is fun and challenging. Let's just put it that way. Not just because of dragons. You'll get that. It's like Spiral Beats Only Way Up, but fun. And there's even environmental hazards. For example, if you're running and a mushroom explodes, you'll be high, so to speak. So therefore, your controls are inverted. It's actually pretty clever. And it's not hard. It's actually not hard, but it's a little hard. It's a little difficult because one of the Steam achievements, one of the early ones is get up to 500 meters without falling. I had not unlocked that achievement yet, and I'm at 1,000 meters.
Damn.
So yeah, it's not that easy, but he's constantly updating it, so it's not an abandoned asset flip. And for $5, who cares?
I feel like the whole, oh, it's an asset flip is one of those stereotype hand waving, like, oh, you just got these assets on a store, you didn't make them. We just spent an hour and a half with the developer who I didn't know that you had mentioned that you recognized a level. I didn't know that they were assets. Everything looks like it fits. What the fuck does it matter if they bought assets or not? Do they fit in the game? Does it look good? If you get something that's like, you get an asset and you put it in there and it has one thing, and then you get something else that it really looks like it doesn't fit, like it sticks out like a giant blimp or something. Yeah, maybe go back and think your process through. Should you have this asset? But if everything fits, what does it matter?
Yeah.
What does it matter?
I saw the product chat real quick. I'm gonna add to that what Kara said. Fun fact: Pal World. If they're using marketplace assets, it's an asset flip. Pal World has assets. All right, look up the asset Lord and Fell. I guarantee you, the castle ruins that you see in Pal World, you're going to see the same thing in that asset. Okay, what makes it like a lot of these people that say, "Oh, this game isn't hard because it's so easy, bro," or it's an asset flip. When you apply pressure for receipts, about they know what they're talking about. Like, for instance, I had someone say, "Oh, Power World wasn't even that hard." And I was like, "I show your receipts. I went and swam to the world tree in Subnautica 2, where there's a Leviathan that spawns to hunt you down for going out of bounds. I scanned everything in the game. I completed the game. Show me your receipts." He backed down and said, "Well, it's not everything a debate, bro." I'm like, "Well, then why are you coming out bragging it's not that hard?" Because people are saying they have complaints about the weapons and difficulty of Subnautica 2 being unbalanced. And you're combating that argument. You're already debating. But then once you apply pressure and call them on their bullshit, they immediately back down. It shows that they either didn't play the game, they haven't played any type of game that would prove that they play hard games or something like that, or they don't even know it as a play. They're just people echoing what is told to them. That's the thing. They're doing parrot talk. But that being said, Dash and Bo so they had to leave here soon. So Bo says it's time to walk his dog. So yeah, but did you have a game you wanted to share? You don't have to tonight since we did the devs.
No, actually, I don't. Anyway, the one I shared last week, Nightingale, is really the last one on my wish list right now. So, but all I'm doing is, I don't know, I might be back streaming a little later. Some Cyberpunk, take a break from Conan Exiles. Because I got to take a break every now and then. But just been kind of working on my server and streaming Conan Exiles.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Hey, Des, if you haven't already, there it is. Yeah. Make sure y'all give Bo a like and subscribe as well, guys. Support. If you say you support the vets and support the troops, yet you're not subscribed to Bo and watch his content, are you really supporting the vets? Practice what you preach. Just saying. That being said, same thing, Dash. You don't have to show your game tonight because we had the devs.
Okay.
But if you want to say it, tell us everyone what you got going on next week. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh yeah. So
Bye, Bo.
Yeah, so I'm going to be continuing to play Final Fantasy X, and I'm probably going to go see that new He-Man movie in theaters.
It comes out this week?
Yeah, it comes out this week.
It's already
next week. Oh, shit.
Yeah, next week. So Final Fantasy X, maybe more Mina. I might start playing Mina off stream just because I see how difficult the game is, and unless people just want to see me die for 2 hours.
Why do you think I watch your streams?
True. People come and watch me fail. It is true. You can be. That's the cool thing about streaming, though. You can turn failure into content.
Yep. But also, it's just fun to watch your friends play a game, have fun. Even if it's I had people in my first stream like, "Oh, you're not good at this game." I was like, "I don't care. I'm having fun. Get the fuck out of here." And then some people actually start roasting me for my stuff. So I was like, you know what? That's fair. Of all the times I've roasted other content creators for and say get good. Sonya, it's fair.
Can we flip that? Can we flip that? Can we start saying "get bad"?
Get bad.
Yeah. Well, no. If we start doing that, content creators are already starting to become journalists. If we start doing that, they're going to start saying this game is too hard. There's so yellow paint, and instead of game journalist mode, it's going to be content creator mode. Which, that's just even worse. But yeah, Dash, thanks for coming in. Again, happy birthday. I already said it during your live stream. And we'll see you next week.
Happy belated birthday.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
And don't forget to support Dash because he's woke as fuck, yo. He's like really woke. So, but that being said, we have some No Man's Sky news. I know you guys are saying, Sean, no, but this is a swarm of updates. So a massive free action packed expedition update is out now on all platforms. Join rival teams, the Royal Sage Weaver, in a global war effort against the Atlas Swarm. Battle swarmer ships and ground horrors, restore ruined planets, construct a prismatic core, and survive huge boss fights. Earn the epic Dire Swamp suit, jetpack, and disintegrator rifle while hitting community goals. Pure interstellar warfare chaos live right now. So yeah, I'm afraid to load up No Man's Sky.
Me too. They're constantly doing so much that I'm afraid when I jump in, it's like, oh yeah, here's my little Corvette. My Corvette will be overshadowed by everything else.
Pretty much. Like I did do their space Pokemon update not too long ago, and yeah, I made a video on it somewhere. I forgot. I just remember covering because I covered the video, but I was like, I'm not making a video on this. I'm just gonna cover it in Dragon Bytes. So it's like. I'll be sitting there for about a week or two playing this again, which is the whole point of it, right? To be fair, but I want to see Light No Fire. Yeah, I had that.
It's free update time. No, Sean. No, I have money.
Sean, we want Light No Fire. I'm just going to put it out there.
Actually, we do.
But you know what? Speaking of getting away from life, we have another update coming down the road. Away from Life is a thrilling survival crafting adventure from Cursor Games and Illzilla Games, now in early access on Steam for $12 or $13 technically. Crash on a savage remote islands as a stranded castaway, forge craft tools and shelters, dive underwater, build your escape and uncover mysteries, and survive in single or multiplayer. The updated summer roadmap just dropped. June brings new animals, expanded ecosystems, hunting in more islands, weapons and vehicles, and major content coming through the summer. Pure Explorer Craft Escape Island Survival. So, yeah. And fishing. So, you know, if you wish you could get to a tropical island getaway for your summer vacation and you realize you're too poor, right? Because you just upgraded your PC or whatever, consider this. Yeah.
I'm seeing so many games that have features, and I get this. Remember Survivor Man, the show?
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, like, how long before someone just decides to make Survivor Man the game, and it's just like you're this poor person on an island. You don't have any money for anything because you spent all your money on your games and stuff, and so now you like this is just you, Survivor Man.
Yep. But yeah, that's it for the patches. But we have some upcoming games, including some good old games for you guys. Yes. Two, actually. More than two, actually. So, the Legendary Trial... no, that's not it. The Thief Gold has been selected in the patrons voting as the next game to be saved. On sale for 75% off. That's $1.75 for those who can't do math. You can get the bundle of 4 Thief titles for 86% off. And we actually, when the mods bring it out, we'll have the GOG's links for you. Yeah, there you go. See? There you go. Thief Gold on GOG and in the GOG bundle. So, good old games for you guys. Ha.
I feel bad that I've never gone through all of the various iterations of the first Thief. Like, I went through the official first one. I didn't actually know there's like other expansions and stuff that were done for it. I'm just like, oh no, I have to go back now. What all did Garrett do?
I actually looked into it. I like when I was putting this in the notes. Just out of curiosity, they have quite a few Thief titles on GOG now. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're like, I never got to play the collection. And I also noticed, because I didn't do it, but I also noticed it seems like they might have their own app now, kind of like Steam. So, because they have like a download GOG Galaxy or something like that. And so, like, you know what? I'm gonna check to see what that's like. But you know what else you can check out when you're at GOG, Karis, getting that Thief title? Some Mana. The Mana series lands on GOG. The Legendary Trials of Mana and Legend of Mana are now on GOG for the very first time, fully DRM free at 60 to 70% off. Classic action JRPG goodness, real-time combat, beautiful worlds, artifact world building, and that pure Square Enix charm, now without any launcher. To celebrate, the first ever Square Enix JRPG sale is live with big discounts on Final Fantasy and Saga Tiles 2. Perfect time to dive in.
I feel really old now because I remember seeing advertisements for Legend of Mana in magazines decades ago in like Electronic Gaming Monthly. I was like, wow, that looks cool.
I love the Mana series. I won't lie, I love them. But you know what? I gotta confront you about something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is Confronted, a tense survival horror experience where you can't fight what hunts you, forcing you to hide, improve makeshift shelters, and face the cursed horrors of Radu Castle while confronting the shadows of a brutal past. One thing you didn't point out, all right, because this is your Twitter, right?
Yep.
I looked into the game. It looks pretty good, but there's a third-party EULA on Steam.
Yeah.
But oh. Remember what I said about reading, right?
I can't read.
didn't?
I can't even count to 4.
You don't remember?
Are you saying you want out?
Okay, you don't read?
Fine, you don't want to be part of this? Then just sign right here. No, you didn't read it! This says we don't ever have to let you out and then we can do whatever we want! Damn it, why won't it read?
Because if you read the EULA, right, somebody say, oh no, it's licensed not copy, all games are being licensed not copy. Actually, no, that's not what it says. The EULA warns that it is sold as is, but it's not claiming license not sold. It doesn't have that in there. It's talking about the assets, like it's sold as is. You're not holding them responsible for any damage to your PC, which is an odd thing to say, but they pretty much say Epic Games. So I think he's just saying, please don't sue me because I think he's saying he has assets in there or whatever. So it's like, I think he's saying, please don't sue me if Epic Games' assets that are in this game, in this engine, are ruining your PC. You agree you're not going to sue me for it. So go sue Epic. Go sue Tim Sweeney, because, he's jealous that he doesn't get yachts. But he's got money. He can pay for it. I know. I'm a monster.
I think I know. As you were talking about assets, the video stopped, went right there. Those could be assets.
Yeah, those are. Yep. I actually had. I think if this is ones I'm thinking of, I think I actually had those ones.
Of course you do.
Yeah,
but unlike some people, I include the Steam link. And hey, look, the Confronted developer even commented, which is always cool.
Awesome. Probably see if we can get him on. If you want to see him on, let us know in the comments or live chat or whatever, and we'll see if we can get him on. I'll use my dragon blackmailing privileges.
Oh, so that's how you got HideWorks on. You blackmailed them with threats of nonviolence or something.
I tell them if they wouldn't come on, I will let them know how sexist, racist, and misogynistic they are.
Hey, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Nah. But I know I'm a monster. But you know who else is a monster, Karis? You are a monster. This is a chaotic upcoming action game by indie developer Joshua Hughes on Steam. You play as an unstoppable kaiju, becoming a giant monster that rampages through the city, destroying everything in your path, while police, SWAT teams, tanks, and jets try to stop you. A power fantasy that you wanted to have with Subnautica? You are the monster with a power fantasy kid that you can go get. Smash, level up, earn devastating new abilities, unlock more monsters and modes, and unleash total mindless devastation, pure destruction for fun. That sounds like my type of game, which is interesting because with its June 19th launch on Steam, it's the perfect gift for dads this Father's Day.
I'm mesmerized by there was the tentacle monster. Yeah, I was thinking, can you use the tentacles to grab stuff multiple things at once?
No, Karis, you cannot grab anime girls in that game unless you mod everybody's anime girls. Which then I don't think will be stream pervy.
Damn it. Damn it.
I mean, you led me with that. What do you expect me to do with it?
Exactly that.
I was like, did he just?
You're welcome, chat.
But I like it. I thought it's like I was like, oh yeah, this looks like it's gonna be fun. It's actually I actually wishlisted it, and yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah, I just heard about it not that long ago. Just
Yeah,
wanna
this
put
is
it out there.
relatively new. I haven't seen much. Now
The
that you
post
mention
came
it's
out
gonna be free.
the 29th, which is
Oh,
yesterday.
okay. Yeah.
I don't know when the game was out there. Pretty sure the game was on Steam for a while, but this is why I like covering all these things. This is why another reason why I like Niche Gamer. And when people got all melting, they said we're going to step away from the culture war and focus on games. And I think that was the best thing they ever did.
Yep. And
So
here they are, covering great stuff.
great stuff. It kind of reminds me of how edgy this game is. But you know what else has an Edge of Memories? Edge of Memories is a stylish upcoming action RPG from Midgar Studios, the maker of Edge of Eternity, and publisher Nacon. Yeah, that one with the RoboCop and the solvency issue that shut down Spider Studios that tried to go after them for, not saying free Palestine or something like that. Yeah, that one. You play as Eline, a nomadic soul whisperer in a world of being devoured by the corrosion, a plague that mutates everything into nightmarish monsters. After gaining the forbidden power to control the corrosion inside her, I'm pretty sure she did, Eline must fight to save a dying continent alongside immortal allies. The game features fast-paced real-time combat with combos, ally skills, exploration, and progression, and is set to release in 2026 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS. But for the PC Master Race people, there's a free demo on Steam for June 15th. So
Sold.
basically, the demo is coming out on June 15th. Yeah. So that way we can tell if it's actually a good game. But it's also something that scalpers can't spoil us and charge us multiple dollars on because they have a free demo, right? But speaking of
I never
spoiled-
thought about that. Hang on. I never really thought about that. Like, demos, yeah, literally, scalpers they can't mislead you. The demo's right there. You get the experience. Scalper, it's completely scalp proof. I've never thought about that till now.
Like, hey, you want to pay $50,000 for this demo? Why? I should go on Steam and get it for free.
Yeah.
It kind of spoils things for scalpers. But it doesn't spoil things for scalpers? Scalper Spoils is a chaotic, satirical first-person action management sim by indie studio parody devs. That's right. I actually got it right. Coming soon to Steam. You play as a ruthless scalper in Scar City, sprint through crowds to empty shelves at restocks, beat bots and captures online drops, haggle customers into your store, risk opening packs for rares, and flip hype items for huge profits. Play solo or team up to four-player co-op, grow your crew, and become the ultimate scum of the earth, turning everyone's hobbies into your margin. Basically like the quartering. Wishlist now, released to be announced.
Basically,
you did not expect me to actually mention the quartering after this? It's like,
no, my brain was going back to COVID when the big fight was over water and toilet paper. Oh, yeah. For those who
and hand sanitizers.
Hand
I actually saw that.
sanitizers- Yeah.
I was not paying attention to the whole COVID situation. I was like, okay, spring break's coming. I got groceries, and I wanted to get some hand sanitizer, but I also needed soap, right? And the hand sanitizer aisle was just sold out, but right next to it was the soap, fully stocked. I was like, I certainly hope I certainly hope these people are buying these hand sanitizers doesn't think that hand sanitizer is going to keep them clean in a shower or something. And then later on, I found out someone was mentioning about COVID. I was like, what's COVID? I Googled that because I'm an introvert. I'm not going to talk to strangers too much. And I was like, everything's to be shut down tomorrow for 2 weeks to slow the spread. Good thing I went shopping today.
I think I didn't buy a whole bunch of water, but I bought twice the water that I normally buy. And in my town, you don't drink from the tap. You either triple filter that shit or you have to drink from bottle because our water filtering system is downstream from the paper mill. So the water tastes terrible. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm already used to buying water. I just had to buy twice the amount and make it last.
Exactly, and you know what, people? He just doxed himself. Yes, that's right. That he lives in Carriages in Flint, Michigan. But the devil's in the details. Really.
Yep, it
Yeah,
is.
the devil's in the details. And it's a unique first-person anomaly detection survival horror game from a two-person indie studio, HideWorks. Available now on Steam, PS5, and Xbox Series XS, you're trapped in the devil's twisted hellish game show inside ever-changing mansions, spot cursed anomalies, cleanse haunted objects, solve escape room puzzles, and survive demons, traps, and chaotic randomization while time drains your health. Chilling atmosphere, clever puzzles, intense voice acting, and I forgot to ask them who did the voice acting, by the way, and full custom difficulty options. Currently 20% off on Xbox, pure spot the difference terror. And yes, for people who are here that are just coming in or whatever, because now we're almost at 200 views, the dev interview is at the beginning of DragonCast. They already left. But feel free to watch the replay. But yeah,
Having played this game, if you have no idea what to glean from like what the title says, think of observation duty, but more interesting.
Yeah.
Like if you've seen, go watch the trailer for Devil in the Details. If you're still, it's observation duty, but just it's got a lot of twists and turns in there. And the way that they developed the game, that's why I was asking some of the stuff that is like, you've really put some interesting stuff. Are you going to put it into Liminal Point? But I like Devil in the Details. I just suck at it because it's a memory game. You have to memorize a lot of stuff. So if you're good at that, you'll be good at this game.
I got holes in my brain. How do you think I'm going to do? I don't think I'm going to be able to pass the tutorial mode.
Stream it. Let's see it.
But by the way, everyone, if you were coming in as well, when we talked about this game, the devs actually gave us all pointers about how to surpass the game. So, if you want some tips from the devs, it's earlier in the stream. And I'll try to clip some parts of it out for shorts. But, devil in the details. I felt like it was kind of fun to just add that little Easter egg in the upcoming games. Just for humor. Yeah. But, you know what else we should restore? Your island. Restore Your Island. It's a cozy first-person restoration sim. I found this interesting. By indie studio Palbane Game Studio, available on Steam, currently 20% off with the free Black Pearl Island Major Update. You arrive on a scarred, trash-filled tropical island, clean up pollution, revive nature, rebuild habits, rescue animals, play with your loyal dog companion, design your dream sanctuary castle, upgrade tools, and relax by the fire as wildlife returns. Slow pace, low pressure, cleaning and building with stunning relaxed vibes. No time for stress, pure cozy therapy out now. Now here's what I'm going to point out. The theme environmentalism could do the red flag of woke game, but the way when I was looking at this, right, the way it's playing, the reviews, right, because I curate everything before I put it on stream. I try to curate everything. This is your leftism political ideology done right. You want to talk about the environment and how you have to take care of it. Restore Your Island's a perfect game. You had the base building, you clean up trash. It's kind of like Animal Crossing, right? So where they had those chores you have to do, and kids that don't realize they're doing the chores in video games, right? That's what you're doing here. You're cleaning up the island. Look at that. So,
what I appreciate about this is it's one person doing this on an island, yet a couple years ago, I went down the rabbit hole of what are people doing to clean up the ocean? And I found out that there's actually a lot of people. There's like entire teams, there's entire barges, there's industries, there's equipment that you and I can purchase to clean up the ocean. And it's because I didn't know that it was like, I didn't know who was out there. And so seeing a game that reflects what people are doing privately behind the scenes, not really privately, but they're not really advertising very well, I would say. This I really like. It's not beating you over the head. It's just, hey, this looks terrible. Let's do something about it.
Yeah, it's a game about cleaning things up, and they don't preach about it. They just they show you, like, look at the turtle with the barbed wire. They show you the issues of an unclean environment, right? It doesn't preach it. You see it for yourself. It lets you say, "What are you going to do?" You could, I could, yeah. I'm pretty sure if I pick up the truck, I'll probably toss it back in the water. It's like, ha, you got barbed wire, whatever. I know someone's going to clip that out of context, but who cares? My point is like it doesn't preach to you. It shows you. It says, "Hey, this is what our game is like. Do you want to play this kind of game? This could be an educational tool for kids. Like, who knows? It doesn't preach. I think." This is one of those things where I think both sides of the equation, of the political side, will agree. Yeah, we need to take care of our environment. No one's saying no one has a problem with that. It's what do we do? Here's a game that brings that awareness out without preaching. But here's another thing I want to add on your thing. There's a kid who didn't go to college. He saved up his money, right, and bought a boat to clean the trash out of the water. And now has a fleet of boats where that's all they do is they clean up Trash Island. And people think Trash Island is an actual island. No, it's the name of the debris field in the Pacific that stretches from U.S., Hawaii, China, Japan, I think Australia, and all the way back up to South America on up. It's like the whole. They call it Trash Island because there's so amount of trash out there. It's not like an island of trash. But that's all he did. He scoops it all up, and he made good money on that. He didn't need college, apparently. That's what I heard. He didn't go to college. He just went and said, "I'm going to go do this instead," and he's making good money. At 17, he started this. So what are you doing for your life? Yeah. But in case you prefer trash, how about finding Ashes of Covenants? Ashes of Covenant is a dark fantasy, fast-paced action roguelike by Divine Studios, coming soon to Steam. Play as the archer and summon a fierce tiger companion that tanks enemies, draws aggro, like Karis does for me when we play, and gives you breathing room to reposition, aim, and unleash arrows, like I do, and hopefully don't hit Karis. Accept dangerous blessings from forgotten gods for brutal combat, like candies from strangers, that kind of thing, and powerful synergies, like, syringes. Each with deadly hidden costs. High risk, high reward. Define chaos. Wishlist today. This sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, this is like really intense, but also looks really fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching. I want to call her Merida from Brave.
Merida.
She is just kicking. Merida, yeah. She's kicking ass, and she's like blinking around, doing corkscrews.
Mm-hmm. And the tiger's the one that's drawing the enemies away from her so she can make their ranged attacks. The perfect tank.
This looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm done zoning out.
Yeah. But, maybe that's not your thing, but you say you work in an office, right, Karis?
No, I have, though.
You have? When you were in office, did you have a need for seats?
Yeah.
This indie developer is making an office chair racing game where you're racing. Right? Need for Seat is a hilarious office chair kart racer by indie studio Deadline Production, coming soon to Steam. Free prototype playable now on itch.io. It's not on Steam, itch.io. So
Don't mention that one very often.
There's two devs. Everybody, there's two devs. Two links. There we go. Need for Seat to Steam, right? You blast through cluttered office hallways on rolling chairs, driving for boosts, drafting rivals, dodging obstacles, and slinging random power-ups to knock everyone out of the way and take first place. Pure chaotic, laughing out loud, racing absurdity. Wishlist today.
This is pretty much like when you made that power chair and abiotic factor, this is what I imagined you doing with it.
Yeah.
Just like full horsepower, barreling through the facility, shooting off whatever. Yep. Just this.
But one thing I would say is we now have a power chair and abiotic factor. We have a power chair, we have an office chair racing sim. Do you know what we really need? And it's not a cue for anything. But you know what we really need?
What?
Office chair jousting. We need it. Dad.
Yes, we do.
I want it. I'll buy it. shut up and take my money. You give me, I don't care if it's an asset flip, a slot game, whatever. If it's me sitting on a chair, holding a tube of cardboard or something, doing office jousting with my friends in a video game, that's going to be my office experience when I was desk bound in the Army and the first sergeant commander left. We're like, hey, you want to do office jousting? But Corporal, we got to be serious. Do you want to do office jousting? Do you want it? Yes. Okay, let's do office jousting. But I'm the corporal. Let's do office jousting.
Maybe that'll be the first game I try to make, and I'll do it terribly.
That's fine. I'll play it. Am I supposed to have my neck in my hands like this? But that being said, maybe you maybe you don't want to run around racing games on a seat or office jousting. Maybe you like the idea of cleaning up your environment, but more with books. So Tidy Up the Arcane Library is a cozy, ultra-satisfying organization simulated by Art Rising, out now in a Steam top seller, which is surprising because it, from what I heard, it has AI assets, right? And it's still a top seller. You return 3,000, I looked this up, 3,072 scattered magical books to their proper places in a chaotic arcane library, sorting cover and tile while unlocking spells like Assemble and Auto Shelving to speed up the perfect tidy up. Pure addictive, just one more shelf bliss that turns mess into order. $5.99 and ready to play right now.
So this is the game that was developed after the idea of Evelyn in The Mummy smashing everything in the library. This is the game that's based on that after everyone left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we got one more game for everybody. If y'all remember the cute waifu girl with the jiggle physics saying what you're buying, we got another game for y'all. Tower of Kalamo. Tower of Kalamo, I can't say it right, is a soulful isometric ARPG heavily inspired by classic Diablo 1. Solo developed by Kalamo over 5 years, out now on Steam. Free demo available as well. Descend into dark atmospheric dungeons with deliberate, slow-paced combat, explore secrets, loot, and fight your way through haunting old-school hack-and-slash goodness, packed with heart and vibe. If you've been craving a true Diablo 1 feel, this is it. Play the demo and grab the full game right now. Link in the description.
Oh, wow. This is... Damn. This is sending me back, because I never played Diablo 1. I missed out on that. I played Lord of Destruction a lot. Yeah. And yeah, this is... Oh, wow. That wizard outfit. Damn. I'm sold.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that concludes Dragon Bytes, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. And you know, Karis, surprisingly, we did go a little bit over the goal, but we're still within 3.5 hours. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, for everyone that's coming in, I saw that we're now at 182 views, and you're probably here for the devs. That's at the beginning of DragonCast. They already left. But feel free to watch all these things and give us a like and all that stuff. But we're going to be shutting down the stream now, so Karis, what you got going on next week? And yeah.
Trying to feel better. Been sick for well over a week, which sucks, but yeah, I've got some projects that I'm going to be actually filming and editing. Finally, I'm home next week still, so I can finally get that done. I don't we kind of done with Subnautica. We need to get everyone together for Abiotic. I completely spaced that out, I think because we were still in Subnautica, but yeah, I need to ping everyone. Alan, if you're up, we got to go back in Abiotic. I've been talking with Bosco. I'm going to see if I can get him back in. So yeah, we got to get the crew. We got to get as many people in, try and get up to maybe 10 people and just plow through whatever it is that we're going to see at that end game.
we're getting so close to that end game, and we need to finish it too before they say, you know what, we're gonna add more. I'm like,
We do. That's another thing. Like, I want to get to that point so we can be like, all right, let's move on to something else. And more drop. We'll get to it later, kind of thing. Like, we'll come back and visit it, but it's like,
watch we get to the in-game content, and then we're done streaming. It's like, we're gonna do this, and as soon as it's the very next day, when we're like, we end our stream, the very next day, they added new content, and I'm like, motherfucker. And not just any content. There's also more achievements. I'm like, you motherfuckers. So
yep.
He said, yeah, he'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. I do have a game to recommend.
We'll save it for next week.
Okay.
Because I
That's
remember
fine.
you said you don't know if your battery should hold up for your earmuffs. And as I was thinking, it was like the way things are going, we just showcased a shitload of games.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we got a bunch.
yeah. Next week, we don't have a topic yet, but with Dash being back, we might actually discuss what's the difference between a game that has woke elements versus a game that's actually woke.
Yep.
Because I did promise him we'd
That'll
have
be
that
good.
conversation. He wanted to have it, so we might do that instead. Or I might find something better, something cooler. Or any dead that's like sitting there watching on X, YouTube, Kick, or Rumble, be like, I wish the future would invite me to talk about my game. Yeah, I do is ask. That's all you have to do. Or I might find an indie dev I want to talk to about their game. But yeah, for me, I have that Subnautica 2 weapons video coming out, 30 minutes long. I'm kind of nervous about how it's going to do because none of my 30-minute videos do well, to be perfectly honest. They don't. You would think they do, but they don't, because people say, I don't want to hear Lavisto talk for 30 minutes. Yet they come here and watch me live for 4 hours. I don't know. That's the only thing that comes to my head of why it doesn't do well. Because the algorithm you would think it would do well because it has all those ad money stuff. Maybe I'm not selecting something right. I don't know. But I had that coming out. Obviously, gaming live streams and shorts on this and other shorts I'm falling behind. I think I'm going to do the Once and Narco 2 video unless something comes up. But mostly it's just catch up on those shorts that I'm falling behind on and focus on live streaming. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. Make sure you like, subscribe, and go support the HideWorks devs that are in the description of the YouTube channel.
Yes.
So yeah, other than that, play the games your way. Don't let Karis tell you what games not to play, and reclaim your games. Happy gaming, everybody. You're still here. What? You thought there'd be a post-credit scene or something? This isn't a Disney movie. Show's over. Go get some sleep. Play a video game. Watch another YouTube video. I gotta take care of the Dragon Wing and possibly get some sleep myself. Goodbye all, and thanks for watching. And happy gaming.